Okay, everyone, we are going live right now. You can probably hear me very loud and clear. We've got not the names of the people that we say we have here. We have Trace on Kyre's Jund deck, and then we have Alfred on my food chain deck.
We could not resist.
It was the greatest day. Oh my goodness.
It happened, and we were like, yeah, we're watching this one.
Yep, life's hard. I gotta do something. Okay. Say hi. Hello world.
Hello, everyone. So what we've got here is we've got Trace, or better known as TRZ, on the left, and he is playing a Punishing Jund deck. And then we've got... Who is it on the right, Brian?
It's Alfred.
Alfred will be playing Food Chain. And yes, this is my Jund deck versus Brian's Food Chain deck. The one that he's always talking about and whatnot.
Okay, do you remember how...
We've all heard about it.
We have all heard about it. Do you remember how we
told
flipped...
us this 100 times?
Do you remember how we flipped the image last time?
Mm-mm.
No, I think Bryce messed with that one.
Okay, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It's starting out flipped again?
Yep.
No.
Jund. Okay. That's exciting. That's what we
This
like
is
to
exciting.
see. That's what we like to see. Real magic. They're both mulliganing on.
Both moles.
They're like, nah. Life's hard.
So both these players are pretty new with the decks, right? You could say.
They've played it at least once before.
Yes. Trace and I talked about the deck for like an hour on our drive over here. That's about the extent of the experience he has.
That's hard. Now, what are you looking for? Because we've played this matchup before.
We have.
What are you looking for in this matchup? What does Trace want to see here?
He really wants your hand to be gone.
Okay.
So
he wants to start Thoughtseize into Hymn to Torok.
Yes, if he can start that way, then that's going to be the best start for him. He has good answers to Food Chain, and he has good answers to the creatures, but embarrassingly enough, it's actually really, really difficult for him to kill the Mist Hollow Griffin.
I've never won by just attacking with 3/3.
It's very, very difficult. It dodges Abrupt Decay. I mean, there is a Fatal Push in the main board, I happen to know, but even that's, finding it's not exactly the easiest. This is kind of the story of that deck, so...
I mean, life's hard sometimes, right?
Alright, and so we could already see a Thoughtseize coming from the Jund player.
Yep. Let's see. Yep. He went that excellent Expedition Bloodstained Mire into a Thoughtseize, assigned Lorwyn Thoughtseize. So you're letting me down there. It's got to be...
It's a Theros one.
It's a Theros Thoughtseize.
I know.
Okay, so
I'm not one of those rich
in
folk.
his hand, Swamp, Sylvan Library, Force of Will, Eternal Scourge, which is a spectacular hand, especially when you draw right there.
And I think he picked the right card too. I think that Sylvan Library is the thing you don't want to see from that hand.
Absolutely. Sylvan Library is much more dangerous. Now, I think I would have started actually with the Eternal Scourge here.
I agree.
Because you get the Eternal Scourge and then you have Forcible backup in case there's a Hymn to Torok or, whatnot.
Right.
There's a whole bunch of things. And Baleful Strix doesn't get past the Punishing Fire, right?
Right.
Like you said, this is definitely the Legacy awesomeness. We're getting there.
Yeah, and so when he leaves this down, it does enable Trace to resolve a Tarmogoyf, which I mean, you know the matchup, like that is not a threat you'd like to see.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Especially when there's no fetch land and he's got no blue source here. Now, he does have the Force of Will now, and he's going to keep his Baleful Strix up as a blocker against the Tarmogoyf. And I think it's kind of funny that Trace is like, I'm going to attack with my 2/3.
I mean, I'm sure he has removal for the Baleful Strix, and I would assume that he wants to use it here. Oh, he's just going to trade off the Tarmogoyf.
That feels very good for the food chain player.
It really does.
It's so you're like, cool. I will trade my 2/2 or my 2 mana 1/1 that drew me a card for your 2 mana 2/3.
Exactly.
Life's easy.
Gonna get rid of Thoughtseize.
Deal 2 more damage and that's 15.
Yeah.
That backwards number is gonna get to me. But we'll get it fixed here between rounds. Now, the thing that's always over the Gen player's head is that, I mean, this is a Force Pitch Brainstorm, yeah. The Gen player has to realize that the combo is there.
Yes.
It's looming. It's always at like the edge of your vision. You know that as soon as you let your guard down, or you don't have an Abrupt K, or you don't have something to pressure my hand, like, got him.
And where he did have the early Thoughtseize, I think that this is the biggest reasoning to jam Goyf into Goyf.
Yeah.
He feels like if he has any time in the match to resolve a creature, now is the time to do it. Which I do think that that's correct, but I think that trading for the Baleful Strix was quite bad.
It was one of the weaker plays, but you know, I think he was expecting to see that Wasteland feels so bad.
Oh.
He was expecting to see his.
Trace, don't lose. I'm watching you.
Oh, that's disgusting. So he was expecting to see with his first land choice was to get the double black for the Liliana that's in his hand.
Right.
And so that's probably what he was going for, because you're going to sacrifice the Baleful Strix to the Liliana every
Of course. So this was definitely a good cascade by the Bloodbraid Elf. So he gets to cascade into the Lightning Bolt and kill one of the Deathrite Shamans, which really needed to happen. And not only that, but he's been able to stick a threat.
Yep. A good 3 power threat, which apparently is good in this matchup.
I guess so. Yeah, and Alfred's stuck on mana.
Which is...
There are no lands in graveyards.
Yeah, so he has no way to cast his Brainstorm.
Or his Eternal Scourge.
Eternal Scourge.
He can't even get the Eternal Scourge in front of the Bloodbraid Elf.
I didn't realize that he has a second Force of Will in his hand. That's pretty rad. Well, that's a draw right there.
Okay. He found
Misty Rainforest.
a land.
Got him. So with Misty Rainforest, it's going to be like, play it. And then get my Brainstorm on. Now, it feels kind of iffy to Brainstorm here. It might just be better to play his Gurmag Angler.
I think Gurmag Angler is the best threat you can play in this matchup. The Jund deck actually doesn't deal well with the 5/5 because of its mana cost.
Uh-huh.
They either have to double up on it
Uh-huh.
with like a Punishing Fire and a Bolt, or they have to have the board nice and clear and resolve a Lily.
Yeah, well, and with this, I mean, he has 3 basic lands. No, don't do it. Play your Gurmag Angler. Don't do it. He was thinking about that Eternal Scourge there for a second. And he was thinking about the Brainstorm. Come on, you can do it. But so Alfred's like, well, I've got only basics to this point, so I guess I'll get another basic. And that Wasteland feels really bad, especially since it's not a black source.
Yeah, he doesn't have 2 black sources right now, and
Don't pass the turn. No, you can cast so many things.
it looks like he's just banking on that Force of Will. He thinks that's the thing to get there.
Yeah, I mean, potentially. You might be right, Tianzum. Tianzum.
We can just call him Will.
T-Nazum. Zumnator. He's Swarly. You are now Swarly.
He would be just okay with that.
Hey, look! We got our Mist Hollow Griffin for our food chain. We have 2 fetch lands that we get to throw on top of our library. We get to cast a Gurmag Angler next turn for like literally free. This is the best that ever happened.
Yeah, I actually think that Trace needs to deal with this Deathrite Shaman, because if he's able to get rid of it, then there's a good chance that he can get that second black mana out of Charles Barkley.
Roland, ha!
Bob Swarley, man.
I'm back on season 2. If you guys haven't guessed, I am in the middle of season 2 and just loving it once again.
Good show.
I'm waiting for the hot crazy scale. We got through the crazy eye episode.
The crazy eyes. The eyes. They're crazy.
Yep. Don't get no.
So here is. It looks like he's tapping out for the Gurmag Angler.
2, 3.
He's tapping out for a Gurmag Angler. All right, that's an interesting thing to do there.
I mean, it's fine. It's not like Trace is going to tax his mana, and it allows him to keep something in his graveyard for his own Deathrite Shaman.
Right.
I guess. I probably would have just exiled it also. That Alfred has nothing.
It does look like Trace
different basics. Different basics is great. Aiken, those are my basics. Those are my intentionally mismatched basics.
You don't want to see the rest of the Junta deck, then, Aiken. Everything's mismatched.
So the thing that's matched about the basics is they're all Chinese.
Oh,
Every one of them is Chinese.
And you can read those, so that's actually pretty cool.
I can read those.
Oh, that's good. All right, touche.
So we're talking about the lands deck, right?
Yeah, the lands. Mm-hmm.
Miracles had bad lands in it, like
Miracles did. I was gonna say, I'm like, I don't think so.
No, I love the pun there. Great job, Aiken. Blackroot Reanimator, worst deck there is, has bad lands.
Tons of bad lands. All the worst ones.
I choose the worst bad lands. Oh man.
All right, so looks like he's gonna try to resolve a Liliana. Nope.
Toxic Deluge for 5?
For 5, and that's gonna get forced.
No, it's Toxic Deluge for 2.
For 2.
Just wants to get rid of both of the Deathrite Shamans. Doing exactly what you thought, which is getting rid of the Deathrite Shamans. I'm fine with that. But that allows him to get out Liliana. Now, I mean, it's...
This is an unfortunate Liliana, because it's gonna kill the Deathrite Shaman and not the Angler, which... Now he can use the Angler to take care of the Liliana.
Yep. And then cast his...
Eternal Scourge.
No. Cast his Misthollow Griffin from exile. Because why would you cast an Eternal Scourge that's in your hand that can get killed by... Or that can get exiled by an Abrupt Decay or any target.
Right. And
when you could play a 3/3 that's, like, invincible.
This is unfortunate because Trace just used the Toxic Deluge.
And a Lightning Bolt much earlier, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And now it's looking the worst that it has.
Trace is a slow burn.
Yep.
Who's Sherm 64?
I'm not sure.
I thought you knew all these people. I mean, he's going to Angler him to death. Mm-hmm. Right now, there's 8 power on the board, and, like... I don't know. So back on that turn...
Trace is going to get Anglered.
I guess you don't pay... Like, you expect the Force of Will. You don't pay the 5 mana into the Toxic Deluge directly into a Force of Will.
I think,
with the Angler on the board.
I think the mistake... Oh, okay, so we have another Liliana. That's good.
So you're...
But the mistake is that he should have cast the Liliana first. I do think that's enough to get forced. A lot of times it will be, and with that said, he gets to pay the life and Toxic Deluge and clear the board after that. Yeah, I think that would have been the better play.
Yep. Well, and if you know that you got the second Lily, I don't think you did.
Okay.
But I think Alfred chose well here to lose the Angler and keep the Flyer, because Flyer just cracks back and kills this Lily.
Okay.
And there's a Fierce Empath. So he is one piece of the combo away from combo. Combo kill. Yeah. It is the evening with P City. What are we supposed to tell him before?
Why did you tell him that before, Kyrie? I don't know. It's almost like we're not in the same room.
It's almost as if there's a soundproofed wall between us.
Almost.
Oops, my bad.
I could yell really, really loudly, and maybe they'd hear, except for the part where they absolutely wouldn't.
At least not clearly.
Not
they
clearly.
can probably hear that we're making noises.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm Alfred, because I've played Food Chain so many times, I would drop my Fierce Empath first and grab my Emrakul to shuffle to force the if he's going to make me discard something.
There is another good option. You could grab Massacre Worm,
but he doesn't have 2 black sources right now. I mean, he can get up to his... Okay. He needs 3 total black sources, but regardless, so this could be a win right here. swing and kill Liliana. That's great. Cast your Baleful Strix and attempt to draw
The food chain.
The food chain.
That is
Oh.
not food chain.
It's not food chain, but it's still not bad.
And he can Fierce Empath, so...
No, your Mistalo is tapped, sir. You just attacked with it.
Shouldn't be too relevant.
I mean, he's not going to attack into it.
So Trace is going to put him down to 5, I believe. Our nice mirror-imaged numbers there.
Puts him to... Oh, I guess he's exiling the Grimmack Gengar.
Yeah, he didn't have another black source. Flowers.
There's your Grim Flare right there.
All right, so that's actually a pretty good threat. I mean, now that the Deathrite Shamans are gone from the other side of the board, he may be able to have Delirium.
I mean, I guess that's one way to do it.
Right. 5 is a low life total with two Deathrite Shaman on the board.
I thought we did as well. I'm not sure why we've got mirrored image right now. We may, at the end of this round, just do a quick reset to get the mirror image to go back.
We definitely did have it fixed last week. Let's mess with it between rounds, or at least between games.
Yep.
And finish this one.
Yep. Okay, so he's looking for his Emrakul now.
You see what Fox has to tell you? Fox, I'm not sure if you're aware, but this is Brian's personal deck. And Trace is playing my personal deck.
Honestly...
Our decks are playing against each other, but with the wrong pilots. Or better pilots? I don't know.
Potentially better pilots.
Who really knows?
we get to commentate when they make the mistakes and not actually make the mistakes ourselves.
I would have played this. Totally.
Yep.
I promise.
Knowing the end from the beginning. Oh my goodness. Okay.
So we're finally going to see that Wasteland get used.
Yeah. I think we have Emrakul.
Right.
That's what Who said. What did she say?
I don't know.
So in the graveyard, for Trace, we have sorcery, creature, land, thing, something.
All right, we're gang blocking this.
Why are you gang blocking that?
Yep, and that'll be it.
I guess you have to.
So,
yeah, you have to.
Yeah, Grimflare was
trample,
a 4/4 and had
4/4
trample,
yep.
so he had to put everything
and
in
he
front
was
of
at
it.
3 life.
And he took 1 damage off the trample, and then the Deathrite Shaman finished things off. So that'll be game 1 to Trace. Look at that.
That is game 1 to Trace. Now I think it actually gets better for for Food Chain after sideboard.
It definitely can.
I think it gets much better, but obviously, with relatively inexperienced pilots, we don't know. This is fun.
I think the biggest thing that came into play there is, first off, the Food Chain player did not find Food Chain.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that's probably the biggest thing that happened.
Which, yeah.
And then,
I mean, if the Food Chain player hits a Manipulate Fate at any point and he gets all of his creatures out instead of dropping ones, and he's now got 3/3 blockers, it's a lot harder to get through.
Yeah, and I think
there's potential that he needs to be a lot more passive with his Griffin, so that he has the blocker, because you're at the later stages of the game, you're dealing with Bloodbraid Elves and you're dealing with Flayers and things like this where you need your blockers.
Right.
And I a tape measure.
Trace finding 3 Liliana there, it was huge for him.
Oh, it was solid.
Yeah.
How'd it go?
It's
gotta get rid of-
Trace has game 1.
He got to get rid of a 5/5. He got to get rid of an extra 3/3 blocker.
Yeah.
Like, he just continued to put a lot of pressure on.
Liliana is probably the most efficient removal that Jund has against these creatures that dodge Fatal Push and Abrupt Decay.
Yeah, certainly.
So definitely what he was looking for. It took him a little longer than it should have to find the second black mana. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah. Not getting fetch lands and getting like the wrong basics.
I happen to know that deck only has 5 sources of non-black. That's he found 3. That's 3 of 5. That's impressive.
I mean, that's one way.
I mean, his name is Trace, so I guess he gotta find 3, right?
It works. you either find 3 or you don't find 3. Like with the lightning bolt, right?
Mm-hmm.
He found one. Do you have a set in there of bolts?
3.
Okay.
3 bolts, 1 fatal push.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, the bolts are actually okay in this matchup because you really wouldn't mind seeing the Miss Hollow Griffins in the graveyard as opposed to the Exile Zone.
Certainly. Although Miss Hollow Griffins in the graveyard just make very, very good Grimag Angler fodder.
They
They're
sure
just
do.
Yep.
Yeah, they do. But I think you have to make your opponent have it in that case. Yeah.
Well, and I think so. What Alfred needs to do this game is he needs to. It's likely that he'll be seeing a lot more wastelandable targets, but he needs to just be aggressive and just go wide with his wasteland.
Yes.
With the things that's like, play wasteland against me. Like, sure, I've got 3 more of these. I've got and then get his basic later in the game. Now it'd be interesting if he was playing against Veteran Explorer Gen, because that would be fun to watch, and then he could get all his basics.
Playing with other people's decks. Tisk tisk.
I'm so sorry. Except I'm not the one playing with someone else's deck.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I don't mind at all.
Be really interesting. This is a matchup that's going to be really interesting to watch them sideboard, right?
Yeah.
Because you know your sideboard, I know mine. So
Yeah. So the way that I would sideboard here is I'd bring in Pithing Needle.
I would as well.
I'd bring in my Hymn to Torox and Thoughtseizes.
Yeah, I think that seems pretty good.
And I'd pull out my forces, a Manipulate Fate. I'd pull out a Baleful Strix or 2, and then I'd drop one of my food chains. I'd probably bring in my Surgical Extractions because of Punishing Fire.
Okay.
And it's just like Punishing Fire or an Abrupt Care or something. Force you to use an Abrupt Care early.
Yeah.
Get rid of all of them so that I know that my food chain's clear.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I do there. Fairy Macabre can be very useful, but it's not necessary in this matchup.
Probably not.
And then
I could see it having its moment to shine.
so I think I bring in about 7 cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think if it were
7
me,
cards.
I definitely bring in my Pithing Needle. I probably bring in
Pithing Needle to name Deathrite Shaman?
it also works on Food Chain.
No.
It does
It's
not
a
work
mana
on Food
ability.
Chain? It's a mana ability.
Yep.
I definitely
learn
wouldn't
that
bring
the
that
hard
in.
way against me.
Yeah, I would not bring that in then. I forget the mana abilities. And then
Fox, you're so right. They should just shuffle in 15 cards and make no decisions.
Make no decisions. There you go.
75. Let's go.
Yeah, I would bring I'd bring in the one of Diabolic Edict. In fact, I'd probably like to have another Fatal Push too, just because it hits things that other things can't.
Like Deathrite Shaman. I mean, it can hit almost all of my creatures.
Right, it's pretty good.
With a fetch.
Yeah, and there's quite a few, so I think it can hit a Mist Hollow Griffin most times.
Mist Hollow or Leovold or one of those things. No, it's interesting. Alfred never saw Leovold.
No,
and that's
he
a
didn't.
lot of fun against Jund because you're like, draw an extra card.
Jund likes targeting
Draw
things.
an extra card. Who knew?
It likes killing things. It doesn't want you to have what you want to have.
It's also really good against Punishing Jund. Hey, look, it's one of my Groot Storms. This is a Chris Rush Alter Brainstorm, and it says, "I am Groot."
Which is even more fun because I was there when you got that.
Yep.
I was.
GP Salt Lake, 2014.
Yeah.
That was right before I got married. So what did he put back on top of his library? Because he's gonna you put the Hymn to Torok right on top of your library so that you draw. There you go. So that you draw it and you can hit him next turn. No, it's one of you guys. GP Salt. I mean, I was kind of salty about it. Okay, so what do you choose with this Thoughtseize? You see 3 lands, blah.
You know what? Normally, I like to take something not Brainstorm, but honestly, I don't like taking Force of Will, and I don't particularly love taking the Fatal Push. Although I could see an argument for it. I actually think that Brainstorm is the most powerful card in his hand.
Absolutely.
With that many lands in hand, I think I would take the Brainstorm. But like I said,
We
absolutely
can't see exactly what's in Trace's hand, and he probably is sitting on a whole bunch of creatures that make that a better play.
If he's sitting on creatures and he just saw a hand that looked like that, I feel like you can probably swarm.
What
the board.
are you doing? What are you? Where's the turn 2 Hymn to Torok? That's what we're here for. I mean,
Trace
I guess
ready
this
to
is
IQ.
fine to kill. Why?
We're gonna
Life's
brainstorm
hard.
now.
Whatever. Trace is over there writing a poem. Trace is writing a haiku.
Yeah. He does
This is
that.
where you tell your opponent thanks, but I was thought seasoning this up. Yeah. I mean, it could make sense with a Grim Flare.
I mean, I appreciate it.
How do I get this? I need what the? Is that an abrupt K there?
If only if it
Yeah,
is.
okay.
It is an abrupt decay.
Okay, this makes a lot more sense now.
If only Brian had taught the player how to
He
play
has
the
played
deck.
my deck before.
Oh, okay.
He just plays it like he
Now I
played.
got a Liliana, so this is gonna draw the force out. I would assume.
Oh yeah.
I think playing Jund, I don't think I've had any card forced more than Liliana. Every time I cast a Liliana, it's just like, all right, force
Or
of will. I'm like,
in
all right.
Modern when you play it, it's like it's the card that gets remanded. It's the card they're like, nope, that
Yeah.
nope, that card's no good. Mana
love,
leak.
People
lol.
love stifling it too. I'm like minus, and they're like stifle, and I go, what else is new?
I've learned this the hard way many times, and I still don't care. Oh man.
Good times over here at Paragon. So I think that was a really good tempo swing for Alfred, even though he has so few cards in hand now that that it is very scary. However, he's the one left with the Deathray Shaman on the board.
It's true. Has the Mtorok gone yet? We're doing it now. I
think Kim Tatarok is going to even this game up quite a bit.
Finally, there we go. I just forced Bloodbraid.
I just forced Bloodbraid Elf with Cascade on the stack. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that, but more power to you. I mean, if you're scared of the 3/2, then you just don't even need to see the other card. Just go for it.
4, and then he's gonna do. He should just do 1 through 6, right? Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stop re-rolling. Come on. He keeps getting 5s and 6s. 3. Okay, and we got. Ooh.
So we got a Grove the Burn Willows and an Abrupt Decay. So not having the Abrupt Decay definitely hurts because of the Shaman that's there.
But we see Grim Flare and a Bloodbraid Elf.
And there's a Bloodbraid Elf. I think that's a good thing to see.
Into another Bloodbraid. Into a
And
Deathray Shaman.
now we have a Deathray Shaman.
Interesting. And then you swing for 3. And he goes to 14, and then he'll gain 2 life at the end of this. Eat your Grim Flare. Congratulations, you're at 16 life, because I can count. Hey look, Hypnotorok. Life's hard. I mean, that's one way to do it. This is where you knock the deck and draw freaking... He got a lightning bolt.
I mean, a Lightning Bolt works.
Oh my goodness.
I think Lightning Bolt looks pretty good here.
Yeah, and if you're Trace, so I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's just...
I would probably have just gone and eaten something out of the food chain.
Actually, I disagree with that. I think taking the creature is better because it's essentially dealing 2 damage as well.
I mean, essentially,
but
yeah.
you get to use a creature instead of, oh man, what is this?
So this is a 2/2 Genesis Hydra. I would have held on to it and waited for another one, but it's a way to shuffle your library and draw something else.
And
he has a 2/2 and it can block a Bloodbraid Elf.
It can block a Bloodbraid
like
Elf.
it's one of your win cons. It's one of the ways you dig. It's one of the ways that you get past counter spells because it says put it into play.
Definitely not what he wanted to have to do, but it's there. Here's my 4-mana 2/2. Resolves.
they don't know what your Bloodbraid Elf is because it's the EMA version.
I have four Bloodbraid Elf in the deck, and there are 3 different arts of them. So if that one doesn't work for you, I'm sure another one's coming right up.
I agree. It doesn't work for them, but it works for me. Don't eat the Groot Storm. Don't eat the Groots. That's wrong. No. Okay, forcible. That's fine. He's not scared of the Snapcaster. Look at that.
And something to mention is that
That's an abrupt decay.
between games we were talking about. You thought that it was correct to board out the Force of Wills.
I believe it is.
I think so too. Junk likes to 1-for-1 with decks, and you don't really want to 2-for-1 yourself.
I mean, Food Chain's not always 2-for-1ing themselves.
No.
But every time that you have to, it feels bad.
Yeah.
Because you have missed Hologryphins in your deck.
that's the only time that you force of will and you exile a Missile Griffin,
Yeah.
and that's when it feels good.
Oh, yeah.
But otherwise, it's not feeling good.
It feels better than.
I mean, he's forced 2 times this game, and I believe he forced out
so he's forced
once. Oh,
once this game, forced twice last game. But last game it was
Brainstorm
and then a Griffin, I believe.
and then a Griffin. In this game, it's a.
It's the Pitch Hollow Griffin. It was a Baleful Strix, which is just bad.
All right, that'll do it.
Well, it was 2-0 for that. We're gonna really quickly
flex some muscles here, John. Better
Whatever.
better than Brian's food chain. Just saying.
You're right. I have to admit it. We have video evidence. We have video evidence that you're better than me.
Oh, I didn't say I was better than you. I just said my deck was better than yours.
My deck is better than yours. I mean, I guess that works. And I'm going to take a look here, and Kyra's going to talk about things.
Oh, I'm going to talk about things. All right. Well, I'm going to talk about a conversation I had with a friend just the other day. We were talking about Modern, and he was talking about how non-interactive Modern is right now. And I gave that a good thought, and I agreed with him at some points and not at some others, mostly because I think that the interactive decks in Modern are keeping things quite good in Modern.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Modern overall
I
as
think
a
Modern's
format
it's actually gotten a friend. The quote-unquote friend. I think Modern's in a really good place. I agree.
I agree. But there are a lot of linear strategy decks that when you start playing them and you just hope that your opponent doesn't mess up your strategy. There's a lot of that going on in Modern right now.
Yeah.
And so I told him, and I said, you know what? With all these linear strategies and all these things, I just want to play 8-rack.
Okay.
In this format.
8-whack?
No, not the whack. The rack.
8-rack. Okay, yeah.
Okay. So,
Chud knows for having small hands. Oh.
I'm not the Lord.
It comes down to deck measuring. That's a funny one. Always comes down to deck measuring. I mean, what would Trump do? Deck measure. Judd is known for having small hands. There you go. It makes sense.
It's true.
Good job, guys.
Slow clap. Beautiful. So anyway, I decide that I just proxy up the most random 8-rack smallpox deck I can possibly.
So Liliana and smallpox and Thoughtseize.
Pretty much, and just like
you don't get
Thoughtseize
cards.
Inquisitions, and we test, and he had 2 decks built. He had Storm, and he had Death Shadow, and I was really, really surprised by the 8-rack deck. It dealt with the decks really well. And afterwards, we had a good talk about what the little bit of play testing we did, and
Okay.
I kind of liked where it was at. So,
I feel if you're just like, your strategy's cool, I win the game. This makes sense.
And so afterwards, I got looking, and I scoured the internet for these kind of decks in Legacy, because let's face it, I just love playing Legacy.
You're right, it did kill a lot of people on the Oregon Trail.
It did.
You're not wrong.
1 or 2 people.
At least one.
They had to sacrifice a creature. They had to lose a life. They had to sacrifice a land.
I mean, at the very beginning of it, they sacrificed a land, right?
Yeah.
They had to go to
they
a new
did.
place. Congratulations, those guys.
Yeah, so I've been looking into some mono black, just bad decks, and I've just been throwing deck lists at my friend, and every time he just goes, "Why do you like these bad decks?" I'm like, "It's Legacy. I can do what I want."
That friend is Patrick, specifically.
It is not Patrick.
Patrick did say the same thing, though.
Did
He
he?
said that I had to convince Kyer to not play bad decks.
What?
Yeah. He came back here and told me this. Now I'm telling you, but I think you should play the deck.
I actually don't think it's a bad deck. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have played it in past format. Let's see.
Yeah, it's been fine before, and I've lost to it.
Yeah, I mean, I've had tournaments that I've played smallpox in, or sorry, 8-rack, and it was actually really good. And
Like
I've
if
had
you
other
get a good
ones-
start and you're just like, you don't get your thing, and you don't get your thing, and it's over, and they're like, okay.
Yeah, and then the next tournament, I'll turn around, I'll oh for it, and I'm like, oh yeah, this deck's bad. I forgot.
Oh wait, yeah, there you go.
That's right. I wasn't playing a good deck. Okay. But no, it was an interesting thing to look at.
He gave Johnny some brandy, and it didn't cure the smallpox. That's not how it works.
You gave him the wrong brandy.
Step up your brandy game.
Was the brandy alcohol or was it a girl?
Oh, Brandy, you're a fine girl.
So yeah,
Brian's the
I
guy.
have this awesome list that I looked into building, and I'm like really excited to play it. Maybe.
So, are you playing it down in Vegas?
No, I'm playing Jund, the deck that you just saw. In fact, I really liked just about everything I saw that round, and
Well, I mean, Player is great. I mean, it doesn't get around Fatal Push, and you could play Hooting Mandibles if you wanted.
yeah,
But
I
think Flare gets you that, like you were saying, it takes that spot of Dark Confidant, and it gives you the card selection that you want. And if it's a card that you need to get back from your graveyard, like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, so to give a little context on this, Brian and I had a conversation before the tournament started, and I had been looking into what I needed to do to change my build, to make it a little better for the meta, whatever, right? And I took out my Dark Confidants, and I added the 4th Bloodbraid Elf and 3 Grimflayer. And we had the conversation of, okay, what is Grimflayer better than Bob? And most would argue no. Bob is technically the better card, but I think that with what Jund is trying to do in Legacy, I like it more. I think that Jund is trying to find very, very specific answers to specific threats. And Bob's going to dig you 2 cards, and Grimflayer can dig you up to 4. Because since it doesn't actually draw you a card, it can get rid of 3, and my next card's going to be the 4th.
Yeah.
And I think with that extra digging power, it's going to enable the deck a little better.
Well, and you've complained of the problem where Game 3 always goes down to, I top decked like 7 lands.
I've had I think I had 2 tournaments in a row here in this store where the first tournament I think I went 1-3 and I dropped, and then the next tournament I went 0-3 and I said, what's wrong with this deck? So I counted it back and I looked at like what I had written down about my tournament. I had lost, so that was 7 rounds of Magic with this deck. I had lost 6 of them. All of my matches went to Game 3. Literally every single one of them. Okay? And every single Game 3, I found more than 8 land. More than 8. And looking at that, I made some changes. And since then, I went 2-1, and so far, looking at Trace play my deck, it looks really good.
And we might see him back on next round. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, it's definitely a fun deck to watch. There's a lot of interaction. It's fun. I like watching combo decks and different kind of decks try to work through hate.
Yeah.
And
so Fatal Push still hits your Grimflayer, but Grimflayer can now get around, like, it doesn't get around Fatal Push or Abrupt Decay, but it can get around most Toxic Deluges.
Which I do run one in the main, which is great. Now if, like, yeah, it works around Toxic Deluge and Golgari Charm.
And you can also, it deals with Lightning Bolt's you're like, that's a cool Lightning Bolt, bro. Good job.
I think the thing I like about it the most is that the deck lacks the ability to put pressure on your opponent, which is really unique for a deck like that, because that's what Goyfs are there for. You put Goyfs in because they're the most efficient, big beater for their mana cost, and I think that Grimflayer is necessary to finish games.
I would agree with that wholeheartedly. I mean, just trample it. You're like, got him. Every day.
It's time for Grim Ponder, huh, Fox? Grim Ponder. All right, I like it.
I mean, Grim Ponder is a thing, right?
It's
3 cards. You either say they're all gone or they go back, but it's slightly better than Ponder because you can say I don't need these 2 and I keep this one.
Right,
or like this is the card I need next turn, this is the card I need the turn after, and you just set it up.
We are wearing the same shirt. This is the Paragon City Games shirt.
Yeah,
which is the location that we are broadcasting from.
It is, as you can see by the location thing to this side of me. Da-da-da. That's where we are, Draper, Utah. That's our phone number if you want to give us a call. Our website is live. We don't have anything up for sale right now, but these T-shirts will be online for sale, and we'll have a little special going on here in the very near future.
This is a really comfortable shirt. I mean it. It's not. It's not your normal seat kind of shirt. It is a nice fabric. Just saying.
I do pay him to say that, but
he actually doesn't.
That's true. But yeah, I've worked in t-shirts and stuff, and so I got these printed for us, and I make sure to go a cut above to get slightly better.
Yeah, I really like it.
Better stuff. So it's breathable, it's lightweight, but it's very comfortable, and you can, like it's good any time of the day t-shirt.
All right, Brian. So I have a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
You've talked about Food Chain a couple times. Since I started doing broadcasts with you, I haven't actually heard what you have to say about Food Chain in the format.
So Food Chain has almost nonstop top aided since the Walking Ballista tech came out.
Okay.
I think I might be incorrect by not playing 4 of Walking Ballista.
And how many are you running now?
I'm running 1. I'm running 2 online.
So you're banking much more on the Emrakul plan, or
Yeah.
and on the Massacre Worm, kill all your guys plan.
Yeah, it may be the case that in Vegas I just pull out my ponders and I pull out this and that, and I play my 4 Walking Ballistas. But I really like having Emrakul. It's just like the psychological. I get so much more psychologically out of playing Emrakul and stuff like that that I have no problem with it. And so Food Chain is top aiding, and it's coming, and you're coming back to back, and you're seeing it played all over the meta now. It's no longer the like 0.5% deck of the meta. It's gone up to like 2 or 3%, and it's starting to kind of have a name. The thing is like you're still in the weird spot right between like control and combo, where you're not controlling enough to stop every combo, and you're not combo enough to beat like all the other decks. So like you still have fine game. You've got great game against Jund. You've got great game against Grixis Tilver. You've got great game against unexpected miracles and things like that. Like they're going to be close games, and it's going to come down to whichever player can get into that late game better. But you always have a combo to come out against the fair decks. And then when you're playing against Storm and things like that, like you have a sideboard that's built for it. You're just like, I will play 4 Hymn to Torok. Like turn 2 Hymn to Torok, turn 3 Hymn to Torok, and Storm's like, eh.
Yep, they can't deal with that very well.
So it shouldn't have paused. We're having a couple drop frames. Our internet provider's like meh, but we're still here.
Yeah,
Lucky Pirate.
It's not paused on our side.
Yeah, at least I can see it here.
Right.
I think I can see it. I think I can. Okay. Nope, it did. It dropped just barely a couple minutes ago, so it'll be back. Don't worry. But other than that, like, I don't think it's a format definer. I think Food Chain is just a good mid-range deck that has a combo.
So is it a deck that's hard to hate out? What's making it special enough to top 8 right now? It just has multiple game plans?
Yeah, you've got multiple game plans. You can it's like a Delver deck, right?
Okay.
You can go for that like mid-rangey, like kill you with Deathrite Shamans and a Gurmag Angler, and you can kill them with those, and you can kill them with 3/2 flyers that are just hard to beat. Or you can be beating them down and then all of a sudden combo and win. Like they just have to have the right answers at all times.
Right, force them to start managing one side of your game plan, and then in your hand you're building your other game plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have a lot of card advantage. You've got a card that says pay 2 mana, draw 4 cards. Like Manipulate Fate says draw 4 cards in your deck. 3 of those cards are essentially undiscardable. Just always there.
Yeah.
It's just strict 3-card advantage. Like they've got you on a Liliana clock, and you're just like, I'm gonna throw 3 cards into the place that you can't touch them. Peace.
Yeah.
So,
I'll tell you what, I really like the deck.
yeah.
I think it has a lot of game. I think probably its biggest downfall is the fact that sometimes you'll just play a Food Chain and it just does nothing.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's not always going to happen, but well, that was interesting.
I forgot about that. There's the light right behind the Mountain Dew over there. You're right, Fox. The thing about Food Chain is you're still playing Food Chain. And it is easier. Open the door just a little bit. It's a little bit easier to put people on tilt by playing Legacy Splinter Twin, but I'm not going to play Legacy Splinter Twin.
You know what? I've seen players play that deck to good success.
Yeah.
It's a deck that can win.
It's not top 8ing routinely because like all the answers for every other deck are an answer for that deck.
Yeah.
So like with Miracles around, like everyone's got a set of Abrupt Decays.
Yep.
And you're gonna be able to deal with it. But
I think that was one nice thing that happened to my deck when Miracles left. I went, oh, how nice! All the decks that Jund is really good against just became the format definers. That's great. Not only that, but I get to drop an Abrupt Decay now. I don't run 4 anymore.
see, and the great thing for me is, Death and Taxes has started to see a slight downshift. Which Death and Taxes, when you have Sanctum Prelate and Imperial Recruiter and main decked Phyrexian Revokers, it's just ridiculous. It's nearly impossible for me to get through that, especially after sideboard. But like, I'm glad that it's like, it's seen a little bit of a downtick. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's where I think Food Chain is right now. I think it's in a fine place.
Yeah, I really like
I'm
it.
definitely gonna play it. I'll probably day 2. Definitely, I'm gonna day 2, guys, in Legacy. Yeah. No, it's gonna be like the last one. I do have my round 1 buy secured off of Planeswalker points right now. I'll probably play a grinder or something.
Last time I day 2'd, I was playing Jund, and I had to play Tron 4 times in 15 rounds.
Boggles 3 times. Round 1 through 3 was Boggles for me, and I was on Jund.
That
as
was
well.
hilarious.
Oh my goodness!
I
sit down. Oh, that's Boggles. Blah 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 blah. Thing win. Okay, cool. Game 2 or round 2. Oh, Boggles. Blah 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 blah. Thing win. Round 3. Oh, you just got off your buy. It's cool. And he's like Boggles, and I'm just like,
I can't deal with.
And it came down to a really close game 3, and I shuffled away a Damnation that was not on my deck.
Genius.
I didn't know it was there. But I checked and I had shuffled away.
But I'm just worried about this upcoming this Vegas trip. I just know I'm going to play against Sneak and Show for the first 4 rounds, and then I'll drop, and then hopefully some of you will be there, and I can hang out with you guys instead.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. Well, and it's like, I mean, my thing is Louisville for me. No one is ever going to sideboard a Null. Literally no one. Like, in Vintage, maybe, but you've got Steel Sabotage, so, like, nah.
I would do it just for Fox. That's saying a lot considering I'm not playing blue.
You'll play Guttural Response. I guarantee in Vegas, one of your sideboards will have Guttural Response.
In Vegas?
Yeah, you've got the Modern GP on Saturday.
Oh, so. Okay, yeah, Modern. I don't hate running a couple Guttural Response in Modern. But I don't think the blue decks are doing all that well right now. I think I leave those out.
I mean, you can kind of deal with some of the things in the Esper Death Shadow deck or whatever. You're like, yeah.
I don't care. Like, they have 4 Stubborn Denials, and those are like the blue cards I care about.
Yeah.
Guttural Response doesn't hit Snapcaster, or else I would love it.
That's true.
Oh, I can't tell you guys though. Like, if you guys have ever cast a Pyroblast or a Red Elemental Blast. It feels super, super good to just, like, hit something for 1 when you're not playing blue, you know?
I mean, I guess you could play Artifact Blast, but yeah.
But
it's like playing Pyroblast. Like, you're going to have Pyroblast and like, REBs. Like, that makes sense.
Yeah. But I played with 2 Guttural Response in my Gen deck for a while, but this was when, like, the Grixis control deck was, like, really popular. Uh-huh. And there was a couple other blue decks that were just really strong. Oh, guys, Guttural Responsing a Cryptic Command is such a good feeling.
Oh my goodness, a 1 mana for a 4 mana spell?
Especially when they're actually wanting to tap and draw. When they tap and draw and I go Guttural and then hit your face, it was, I don't know if I've had a more rewarding feeling playing Magic. It feels that good.
Oh man. I mean, yeah, was Burn. My round 2 was Delver and I beat it. My round 3 was Elves and I'm just like, okay, this is like literally the worst matchups I can play at the beginning of the day. Like, give me Delver like middle end of the day and I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Delver is like cool, like manipulate fate, get a bunch of 3/3s, and they're like, I can't beat 3/3 flyers. Like, that's just what mid-range decks do against me. But like, play Burn game 1 and it's like, or round 1, it's just like, force your Fire Blast, and I'm like, price of progress. Okay, I mean, that's how it works. You're not wrong.
That is, yeah.
Notion Thief in response to a Jace Brainstorm. And then play your own deck Fade and make them discard 2.
And attack with the Notion Thief to kill the Jace.
Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh, that is a spicy meatball,
All right,
and I've
all
done
right.
that more than once in Vintage.
All right, you got us, Hurley. You
Grixis
got us.
Thieves.
Yeah, Notion Thief. That is a fun card.
No,
That
the
is.
best feeling in Magic is playing Her Majesty, like Yas Queen, like playing Emrakul, hard casting it from your hand. That is the best feeling in
I
Magic.
do not agree with that at all. It feels dirty, and I don't like it.
How does it feel dirty? I had to spend 15 mana. I may have gotten my mana for nothing and my chick for free, but like...
Oh man.
Why's too good? Playing Magic.
Speaking of Notion Thief, you wanna know what card
Casting
I want to
Divert on someone's main, especially so.
Divert.
Yeah, this you have to cast Invocation Divert because it looks terrible.
Oh, the card is awful.
I'm gonna pull it up just so everyone can bask in the glory
Bask in the glory of it.
of Divert.
What an interesting card to make an invocation. When I saw it, I didn't actually. I couldn't read it very well, and I actually didn't even know what it was.
Let's see. Come on.
Come snag your victim.
You go pick two people.
No, you guys pick. Just give us two.
Give us two people. We don't care.
Give us some winners.
I think we're gonna have Lantern there. That's what Patrick was saying.
Oh gosh.
I've played against it. It's
In Legacy?
Yeah, it's not a bad.
Really?
It's not a bad matchup for me.
Well, no.
Okay.
It's
Everyone,
not a bad matchup for me either.
yeah, here is Divert. That I mean, you gotta. It's the windmill
See,
slam.
you know it's Divert because the name is at the top of the card, and you can totally read it. Also, you know that it's an instant because in the middle of the
looks
card,
like pervert,
it
but
totally
okay.
says instant, right? Like it's right there. You can see it. It says instant right there.
I think it says restart, but yeah.
I don't know. It
Uh,
looks like Beavert. It looks like Beavert. That looks like a B to me. It could be a D. I don't know.
okay. We do have lands players, Hurley.
Yeah, we do.
And what do you think about Bug Delver in the current meta? Bug Delver is a great deck against Food Chain, and like it's got a weird thing against combo stuff.
Alright, so it's gonna be Josh Snow. Whoa. Ew. Sorry from the table. Josh Snow and Steven Davis.
Okay. Josh Snow and Steven Davis.
Yes.
And
Divert.
We're looking at the poor invocation Divert.
Josh is
We're
on
making fun of it.
What
Stone
even
Blade.
are this art? Yeah.
That's the one that we
Season
have.
Delver.
Oh, I think I should have sold it.
Speaking of funny invocations, have you
I
guys?
think Grixis Delver is the better one. Just as a response to that one.
Actually, I do know that the Bug Delver deck tends to be well positioned against the Grixis Delver deck, which is like the reason to play it at the moment.
I hear Patrick. Yeah. I'm
Yep.
the mystical face that's not there.
Yeah, he floats around behind us.
Yeah. The ghost of Christmas Patrick.
I see what you did there. Got it. Steve is on Grixis Delver.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, we're waiting for them to kind of show up, but we've got the other scene ready.
Oh man, Josh on Stoneblade. That was my loss. That was my loss the other day.
So,
He beat me. Guys, Gideon. It's a card that you don't want cast against you in Legacy. Gideon Ally of Zendikar. It just doesn't feel good to be on the receiving end of.
oh my goodness, it feels terrible.
Just in case you were wondering.
So, Chase player. I mean, yeah, but Stifle not. Like, yeah, sure. I've not. Seen
Alright, so I lied.
You lied.
I did. I accidentally entered. So Larry beat Steve, and I entered it incorrectly.
it. You should not do that.
Got belched.
Because Belcher.
Because belch.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So, are we
so
seeing
we're repairing.
Belcher on camera? Okay.
We're gonna repair. All right.
Let's not see Belcher on camera.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah.
You guys don't want me and Brian to just sit there for an hour and talk about random garbage. I mean,
I mean, we will.
we can. We will.
That's a stupid face.
He and I
That's
are,
if my mom
he and
shows
I
up.
are
Switch
not
keys with her.
people who get bored
Okay.
of talking with each other.
I haven't met your mom, but okay, cool.
It'll be relatively obvious.
Relatively obvious.
Yeah,
Okay.
she'll have a Subaru key to trade. Otherwise, you can call me up and I'll be up there.
No, man,
Anyways,
you're streaming. I got you.
I think Grixis Delver, Grixis Delver is better positioned, but Bug is really good against Grixis. So it's like,
All right, so it's
I
Josh
do-
and Christian Cider.
okay, so we're gonna have,
D&T, baby.
D&T?
Yeah. Are you?
About how long? I'll ask Tony.
15. 10 to 15 minutes.
On a turn? Or
No, like 30 to 45 seconds.
something? Okay.
No, it shouldn't be too big of a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, just pay attention for the first.
There's like one warning. People speed it right up. It's not a big deal.
Okay, so it's not what I said it was over there. Josh is on this side, and the other guy is on this side. Christian on DNT. Now, Christian is not usually a slow player, but we've been asked to do it.
Well, this is an interesting question.
So Legacy rule changes, and all decks must adopt a commander. Who will you choose? Leovold. No questions asked. Leovold is the best card in Legacy, probably part of it.
You know what? I'd probably pick something just ridiculous and stupid. Like my
Just
heart.
play Thrax. No,
Oh, I love
no.
Thraxmundar though.
I am playing Niv Mizzet, original commander.
Yeah, you would.
And I would build Curiosity combo, and that's all I'll do.
If you had asked me to guess what commander he would have chosen, I would have guessed Niv Mizzet so
Grand
fast.
Arbiter stacks. Oh, that would be so much fun.
Oh, that's who I would choose. I would choose Marlin. Marlin. That's right. That's who I would choose.
Okay.
I'm gonna go search for some stuff.
I'll probably play Sig River Guide. Let's be honest.
Okay.
Okay, so we've started. Josh goes Tundra on one. Christian draws his card, and that looks like a volcanic island.
A little bigger.
That's a That's not Death and Taxes.
That is not D&T.
And that is not Delver of Secrets. That is the Insectile Aberration, which is not yet. Cheater. Wow.
Jeez, Patrick, you have one job.
Grixis Delver. I didn't even realize this was a thing. Transition. Yum. Oh. Let's put this back. Let's put it closer to where we are. There we go. Transition. There we go. Life is happening.
Bigger for us.
Yep. We're going to go up to studio mode so we can see what's going on. Okay. Sierra Arian.
Take care of that right now.
Sierra Arian. Okay.
Oh,
Insect
that's the
Wizard,
judge creature.
The flying.
It's so good.
Oh my goodness.
A black, a red, and a green, and tap it, draw a card. Target player draws a card. No, I would just target my opponent and be like, here you go, man.
Every time.
Yep.
You're just like, sure. Don't care.
See, Fox already gets it. He's like, you know what, Kyra, that guy's a junk player. He likes to play a black deck.
No.
I love black decks.
You play Shira with four of Chains of Mephistopheles main deck.
4 chains.
And you just make them mill their deck out. And you just
Oh.
play Shira mill with chains.
Guys, all I really want is to play with the chains in my deck. And the world decided that they needed to make it so those are like $250 for like a beaten up one.
I mean, life's hard sometimes.
In this case, it's all the time.
You're right. That's all the time.
Yeah, I love Zero, man.
It seems slow. We don't care.
I remember when Tiny Leaders first started up. Like I was all over
Fox,
Zero.
Fox made no stipulations that this had to be a fast format.
It seems slow.
You're right. Swarmyard. There you go.
Stormbeard.
Who do you think wins this? That's a good question.
That's actually-
Is Stoneblade favored?
I think after sideboard, Stoneblade has a lot more to offer for the matchup. However, Grixis Delver has a game plan that if they're able to execute it well, I don't think a lot of decks can deal with them.
Yeah, I mean, you get a million 1/1s, and you're like, I'll just block your dudes for days.
The
and
long-
then swing over 3/2s.
The longer the game goes, the more I would favor Stoneblade.
No, is this Grixis Delver, or are we actually watching blue-red spells?
This looks like blue-red spells to me. Or a blue-red Delver, whatever you want to call it.
Now, why are you not attacking with a Delver there?
Jeez, Patrick. All you had to do was tell us what he was playing. Now we're confused.
We've retyped this so many times.
I mean, at least he has his creatures in his combat section, you know?
That's correct. But his
He's not putting
draw and all these things are not quite
Yeah,
where
and
we
his
want it.
hand is not over where his hand goes.
I mean, the 7 cards, like,
Yeah.
geez, this is hard.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Yeah, it does seem more like Counterburn. Surprisingly, oh my goodness. Tybalt in the Niv Mizzet deck. That actually doesn't feel terrible because you're playing Time Spiral.
Yeah.
And you're going to get everything back anyways.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jace player, or wait, was that who said that?
Jace player. He's on Niv Mizzet with, he just got his foil video now.
Oh, okay,
The
awesome.
last time I played my Niv Mizzet EDH deck was...
And he's referring to our last conversation last week about Tybalt. All right.
There we go. There we go.
And I know you were there, Jace player. I remember.
Oh man, that Tybalt story was disgustingly
Man,
bad.
I know I'm going to end up telling that story again, and I never have gotten sick of it.
I wouldn't get sick of that story either. Especially so now the next thing I have to do, I have to go back and build my Niv Mizzet deck
With a
and
Tybalt.
and Tybalt is my win con.
You know what? Right now, my commander in EDH is Perforos, and it is like the most non-interactive deck ever. And every single card in that deck works with Perforos except for one card, and that is Tybalt. I refuse to remove it from my deck, and everybody that ever tells me, Kyra, why do you have Tybalt in your deck? I go, you know what? I put this here on purpose. Now leave it. Let me have this one.
I keep my Tybalt.
Yeah.
It stays here.
That's where it belongs.
The 20-sided dice, I don't even remember where I got these.
20-sided?
Yeah.
You know what? I actually have 3 20-sided dice, and I can't remember where I got mine. And I personally have 3. Like, I have no idea why I have them.
I know I picked them up at the Hodge,
Yeah, that's where I got mine too.
but I don't remember the name of the company.
I almost.
Is it just like a big chess X? Like, the thing is I can get these, in metal. Oh, also update for everyone on the Tarmogoyf dice. It is going into prototyping and modeling right now. We will have our first print run probably middle to end of July.
So you're printing your own Tarmogoyf?
We'll have an all-metal Tarmogoyf dice, and it looks like we'll be selling it right around $10.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'll definitely buy one. You know I play some Tarmogoyfs.
Oh my goodness. The edges are chamfered. Like, think of the Star City dice, and now turn it into the Gothica dice that we have.
Okay.
So it's like chamfered edges.
I'm
and
excited.
Like it's indented, so the numbers come out of the face
Okay.
with like around. It's sweet. It's
That's
spectacular, and it's a 25 millimeter, so it shows up on camera as well. Oh,
So this matchup is a little different than what I was saying. If this is the blue-red Delver, because the blue-red version has much more linear strategy than the Grixis or the Sultai or you know any other variant really.
Yep.
They have so much more of a focused game plan.
congratulations on getting that as your Gold Rush card. You got the champion promo Niv Mizzet, right? Because that's what I did.
The champion. Dude, I love the champ promos.
We're having we're getting molds and we're doing cast. They're die cast. So instead of machined aluminum, we're going to do die cast dice, and then we'll have machined aluminum for our 25 millimeter D6 on stream, so you can actually see what we're saying.
That's awesome.
No, I wanted it. I know.
No.
I'm so sorry. I wanted it too. And HC Fox is all about. Fox is like, price him out, price of progress, right here. I want to see it.
Yeah, Josh needs to act fast here. I mean, and this is exactly what he needed.
It's one of the things you do. Swords to plowshares, that Delver. Yeah. That's the second Delver it looks like that's been swordsed.
Yes. The one that came in on turn 1 got swords.
Is what original Ravnica 4? What's going on? Oh, I see it. Diecast.
Diecast.
Yes, you did see what I did there.
Had it.
I mean, the reason they're called die-hard dice may or may not be because of the process that they're made.
May or may not.
May or may not.
All right.
I can neither confirm nor
Lightning bolt.
deny. I love how Josh pulls down 2 cards like he's got the force pitch. He has the force, but not the pitch. And now he swings in for 2, and it's a chump block there.
Block.
Yeah, and like you look at Christian's hand, and it's just over.
It really is. Christian being able to put on this early pressure and be
Wait a second.
Batter Skull.
Top decks a land to get that Batter Skull.
Now,
No. He top decks the Batter Skull. Sorry, had the land in his hand.
but there's a Fire Blast in hand, right?
It wasn't a Fire Blast. No, he's got Bedlam Reveler, and
I saw a Fire Blast. I'm pretty sure
it's a Bedlam Reveler. No. It's a
No, I saw a Bedlam Reveler too.
and Red Elemental Blast. Oh, okay. You're good at this thing, and I'm not. Shut up. Get out of here.
Fire Blast. All right.
Just leave.
And he doesn't. And he
I
doesn't
can't
have
wait
the
for the
pitch.
Tarmodice either Jace player. Thank you, Tybucks.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna buy me a Tarmogoyf for sure.
I'm gonna buy me six. No, I'm not gonna buy 6 of them. I actually don't play Tarmogoyf anymore. I've sold my Tarmogoyfs.
Yeah, he fell off the deep end.
I don't play Modern. I literally
I
play Vintage Online and play Legacy. And
I got
Cast.
him to play Jund, finally, and then he day two'd his first GP with it, and then he just threw it away. Like, what a jerk.
I mean, it was like, it was November, and I'm like, it's going to get reprinted next year.
Mhm.
I'm not playing with these cards.
I would assume it's gonna get reprinted again too. The
Oh
way
my
things have been
goodness.
going, they're probably just gonna keep printing it.
We don't need this thing. The Force of Will fake was great. Also, Josh just had that amazing play. This is a couple weeks ago now, like 3 or 4 weeks ago, where he was playing against Calvin, and he Caracases his own Vendilion Click back to his hand in order to Force of Will to win the game.
Yeah, that's a great play.
Like he Force of Willed
It's-
the Infernal Tutor against Storm, and it's just like over.
It's so important to know every little interaction that your deck can do.
Oh yeah.
And it's very clear that Josh knows his way in and out of a deck.
Oh yeah. He's very good with blue and white control cards. Who knew?
Yeah, right?
But Fox is right. Stone Blade more like Stone Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit dead.
Yeah, I mean, the blue-red Delver deck's going to put a lot of pressure on Josh. He's gonna have to lower that mana curve and try to see some Blessed Alliance going in there. I think that's a good one.
was that what this one?
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
I
the
saw
fake
two.
Force of Will.
Yeah.
The dialogue between them was very good. He's Josh's target. Because
They're not saying anything
Sensei.
right now.
yeah,
Damn it.
Josh's brainstorms weren't the best.
Yeah, Josh does play tight. I just played against him on Friday, and man, not only did he beat me in a close game 3, but he did it through choke.
Wow.
Through choke.
He did,
Oh.
and then afterwards he walked me through how he thought I should be sideboarding, and guess what, guys? He was right.
Yep.
I was not boarding correctly, and the way that he told me to board is 100% correct.
Yep.
I'm a genius. Let's put it that way.
He's good at what he does.
But no, we had such a sweet game. We were going back and forth, and finally I resolved choke when he has one card in hand. All right, because I finally got him to force the Liliana.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
I slam choke, get it down. He goes draw a card, play land, Gideon. And guys, he did not cast another spell after the Gideon.
Ally Zendikar?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I literally just lost.
You just make two twos and
lost to
go
it. Yeah.
7, and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could not beat it. I even had a Toxic Deluge.
It is hard to breathe when you can't get, or
Right.
give advice when you can't breathe. Hashtag choke.
On the bright side, the game ended and then he gave advice, so the choke was gone.
Yep. Yep. Those state-based effects did eliminate it from
Yeah.
the board state. Yes.
Yeah.
And Josh is a great dude.
He is a great dude. He was super friendly. That was actually my first time sitting down and talking with him. He very, very impressive person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Christian's talking about his deck choice right now. He's saying the reason he's playing this is because not a lot of people are expecting it. And it's right. He
I agree.
always plays Death and Taxes, and then he shows up after 2 weeks of not being
With
here.
Burn. Delver.
Yep, and now he's playing Blue-Red Delver. Who's Chad? Gideon? Is Gideon Chad? Is that what we're talking about?
I've never heard him referred to as Chad.
I think I've heard that before. The Nathonian.
I try to block out most white cards from my mind, so I could understand why I didn't know that.
Yeah. Lucky Pirate, we did decide what he was playing. He is on Blue-Red Delver versus Stoneblade. We've decided.
It is Blue Red Delver, but I've looking at some of the things that are going on online. I don't actually think it's referred to as Delver, which is kind of funny because it runs a playset.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a counterburn.
Yeah, counterburn Blue-Red spells.
Yeah.
I generally don't call it Delver because it's not like the mid-range Delver deck.
It's so fun to see this too because how long have we seen a legitimate counterburn deck? This deck's got Lightning Bolt, it's got Fire Blast,
Yeah.
it's got Monastery, Swift Spear, and it's got Delver.
Yeah. The old school hate cards are my favorite. I wish they would bring them back to standard.
For sure.
Conservation of happiness states that in a finite amount of happiness in the world, it must be acquired by stealing it from others. The world does not zero-sum games, A. Hurley. I'm sorry.
Oh, you know what? You know what other card is in this deck? Guys, there's Bedlam Reveler, which I'm pretty sure you guys know from Standard. It's I think it was in Eldritch Moon. And then
Prowess, and it's draw or discard your hand, draw 3
you
cards.
discard
right?
your hand and draw 3, and it has Prowess. Now, there's another card in this deck that's brand new in Standard too, and I don't know if it's in this version, but I would count on
Monastery
seeing
is the
it.
MVP.
Yeah, Monastery's insane. But the other card is this new Serpent that's 2 blue and like 6, and it counts up the number of instants and sorceries in your graveyard, and it costs 1 less for each. This deck should be casting it for 2 blue mana. It's a 6/5 Serpent.
Got it.
And I've seen these decks have 2.
Treasure
Brews. Love it.
Yep. Treasure Brews.
Yeah, I mean-
Bethlehem, like it's it.
Yeah.
Now Christian Mulligan down to 6 cards, and he's getting Thoughtseize right off the bat, which is fine.
I think this is exactly what Josh wants, honestly.
I think it is.
You need to disrupt the game plan.
So it's Esper Stoneblade, but Christian kept a no creature starting hand, which I don't know, seems kind of weak out of his deck.
It is absolutely weak. I mean, he does have a Gitaxian Probe. He also has a Ponder and a Brainstorm, so he's going to see a lot of cards. Hopefully, I would assume that by turn 2 he plans to have a creature.
I don't know if choosing the brainstorm.
I actually like the
I
Brainstorm
agree
pick.
with
I do.
I think I'd. Well, obviously.
Now, is this a Magus? Did you just draw Magus in the
No,
moon?
that was a Monastery Swift Spirit.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a Monastery Swift Spirit.
Okay, good.
Now I've been
That's
wrong
what it means.
before, as we know from the very last game in this round.
I think I'm going to be wrong this time. I think Brian's going to be right this time.
You're right. Take Probe. It's banned and or restricted in all other formats.
Right.
I agree with you. I agree with you there. For the Nathanian, I think calling Gideon Shed was originally a loading ready run thing, and I forgot it's not common. I've heard it before. I'm a big loading ready run fan. I love LRR.
He does.
I do quote them
know this
sometimes.
for a fact.
I do quote them sometimes.
And he did. It was a Monastery Swift Spear.
Yes.
See? You got that one.
I'm a genius.
We're 1 for 1 for the day.
Awesome.
I call winning.
Sure. 100% yours. Don't care.
Yeah, his hand is not great. Brainstorm, I think pushed him to the best, into making the best hand he could. So where that's gone, that guy.
Fox, you are right. That guy. Oh my goodness.
I can also see taking Ponder, like Brainstorm and Ponder on turn
I think
1.
Brainstorm or Ponder was either one. He didn't have anything else really to take.
Yeah, they are very similar.
Oh my goodness. For Jace player, that's I mean, big deck choke. That's,
Yep.
You top deck Swamp Forest to Replicate, and you're just like, okay, got him.
Yeah.
Don't care. Snapcaster Mage says Ponder. I guess that's fine. See, I think I would have either done Ponder or Get Probe, but I like keeping information in my hand. Regardless, you're drawing a card, and I think with the fetch line it makes sense. Like I understand why Josh did it, and he probably is right. Let's be
More than
honest.
likely.
Let's be honest. Josh is probably right.
Even though the Gitaxian Probe does show what Josh is doing, I think it's less important with a matchup like this.
Yep. And now this Chain Lightning is targeting the Deathrite Shaman, I believe.
And we're forcing.
LR is great. The Nathanian, they love that MTG has the kind of comedic content. Autocorrect is terrible. Jace player. I don't know. I picked Ponder because it gives you a little different selection. But I think Brainstorm's still right. Josh picked it, and so he's probably right.
Yeah. We're just going to trust him on this one.
The Ponder has Pond in it. Where do you think mosquitoes come from? Fox is right there. Now the Fetch Nana have picked Ponder. Yeah, I agree there. Any Ant Storm in the room? I believe we have one Ant Storm player. We might have two.
At least
Calvin's
one.
here.
Yeah.
And either Shay or John is probably on.
Typically, we've had like 3-4 Ant Storm decks.
Yep.
Per tournament. It's very clearly a good choice at the moment.
So Force Pitch Meddling Mage. What was this Red Elemental Blast on?
I think it was countering.
Did something. Does Christian even play Vortex though? Disenchant does seem aggressive. I don't know what else you're going to hit with the Disenchant. I think he was talking about Chalice of the Void, but I don't know why you'd have a Chalice of the Void. Christian wouldn't play Chalice of the Void.
No, Christian wouldn't. And Josh...
I guess it hits Eidolon,
either.
but Christian's not playing Eidolon. Like, this deck doesn't play Eidolon.
It can. I actually do think that they run him out of the sideboard, now that I think about it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Oh my goodness. You guys are saying too many words. It's great. Hey, Josh, draw some good cards. I agree.
He really does need to draw some better cards.
Look, they're complaining about Yard Order. If you don't have Yard Order, you don't have anything. It's like it's like a fake format, potentially standard, because they don't have Yard Order in that one. Yeah, I don't know if he has Eidolon.
Platinum Empyrean is obviously the card missing from Josh's deck. Yeah, you're right. I mean, if he just slammed that right now, the game would be over. So,
Ooh, what is this card? It's like Bedlam Reveler, but it's a flyer. I forget what it's called. Scryfall to the rescue. He had counter. Okay, yeah. So the Red Elemental Blast did a counterspell. Das Wilbur, welcome. Congratulations for playing Magic. Legacy is the only format you need to know. No, this is not Blue Tarmogoyf, it's Blue Gurmag Angler.
Is it Cryptic Serpent?
Cryptic Serpent? Let me look it up. Serpent. I guess Christian could be running a Null Rod?
Blue Tarmogoyf. Yep, it's Blue Tarmogoyf. Called it.
It is.
No, I think this is the new Serpent that I was talking about. Yeah, it is.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, this is the one I was talking about.
Yep. Yeah, it's like Bedlam Reveler.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good card. I agree. Cryptic Serpent. Good job, Hurley.
Well, it's like Bedlam Reveler, but it has much higher power and toughness
To start.
Yeah, but it doesn't do the whole discard your hand, draw 3 thing.
And it doesn't have evasion.
No, but it's a 6/5. It doesn't really. 6/5 don't typically need that.
It does block everything profitably.
Thank you, Champagne.
You're so
6/5
right.
does not need evasion.
We need a cryptic chat command for
Still
Cryptic
dies
Serpent.
to dismember. Yeah, it does.
I mean, if you really want.
I'm not gonna lie to you though. I think that dismembering a Cryptic Serpent is like exactly what this kind of deck wants you to be doing anyway. All right, and that'll do it.
That's one way that you do it.
Christian was able to clean that up pretty fast. It looked like Christian was able to put on that early pressure,
Yeah.
and Josh just did not have the answers.
Yeah, if my opponent wants, if they want to dismember, take 4 and kill your thing, or pay 3 mana. It's just like, okay, life's hard. Because like Liliana is not a good combat for it. I mean, it is what it is. Now, this round was another fast one. Look at us go to all these fast rounds.
I think it's becoming something a little more common for rounds to finish up faster.
Legacy has definitely sped up since
It has.
everyone that was calling for the ban was right.
On Blu-ray. I don't know if we call this a Delver deck. I mean, it is, but it's got Monastery Swift Spears. It's got all sorts of stuff. It's such a counter burn deck to me. That Cryptic Serpent, though.
Jace is right. Come on, don't take Zombie Fisher and Black Delve. I mean, like, Gurmag Angler is its own thing. It's its own creature.
Now Black has Zombie Fish and it has Tassiger. And we've got Goyf on the green side, and we've got this Cryptic Serpent and
Yeah.
a Bedlam Reveler.
Yep. Bedlam Reveler, Gurmag Angler,
Guys,
Cryptic Serpent.
What's White doing? White needs to get its...
It's got Rest in Peace. That turns off all of those cards. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I guess it does.
Yep. You're right, Lucky Pirate. It is, Blink and it is done. Fox and Nick Fit lost SDT.
So do you think it's possible to get somebody's game 3 up? Or do you think...
There's potential. Otherwise, we can try and borrow our decks back and play, but then there's no one casting. No, I guess we don't do that.
Probably a bad idea.
No, they're definitely wrong. Less legacy is never a good thing. You're right. More legacy is always a great thing. Except with... Nope, it's not always right. More Legacy is great when you're playing more rounds of Legacy rather than longer rounds of Legacy, because that's less Legacy for everyone who can like actually finish on time.
Yeah. I mean, it is nice to see that people are finishing on time. I think it's better than the formats that just are going to time all the time.
There is Tomb Stalker as well, and Tassiger the Golden Fang, and
Yep.
there's a lot. Hooting Mandrills for green, like it doesn't end.
Yeah.
I agree.
White.
Tybucks, UR Delver is a fun name because people will know what we're talking about. Yeah, more decks are resurfacing now that Miracles is gone. I agree. Shambling Attendants. Okay. He's playing Cryptic as well. Yep.
Oh, Shambling Attendants.
Yep. It's an 8 mana delve Death Touch 3/5 zombie. There are several zombies, right?
Yeah. There's also, I think there's like a 6 mana 3/3 flyer one too.
Jace Player says, you are Delve dudes. Like, sure. I guess people understand the Delver concept. I've done Delve minus R. Like, someone was playing Jund Delve minus R, and I'm like, okay. And Grixis Delve minus R. I've seen those. More Legacy. Moreland. Fox, no. Go away. No, don't go away. Stay here. It's great. We love you. It's not. It's just less frequent Legacy. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I can't say I drafted that format a whole lot. Something about Morph is just hard to... Alright, I'm gonna play a 3 mana 2/2. Go.
Got him. I mean,
Your turn. Okay, I'll play 3 mana 2/2.
I didn't play any Fate Reforged or Dragons Limited. I played 0.
It was fine.
Yeah.
I think I've played like every draft format in like the last 10 years.
Tybucks, literally no one is going to miss 2-hour Miracle Mirrors in untyped top 8s. No, 0 people.
You know what? It's fun seeing like once or twice and then never again. After the once or twice, I am done with those. And Standard has been doing that lately. I keep turning on streams and people are like, yeah, I'm playing this new blue-red deck. You can beat Aetherworks Marvel. And I'm like, oh, that's nice. And then they get paired up against each other and then the game just like does not end because it'll like end when one player's at like 5 cards left in library and they start playing their Torrential Gearhulks because like I guess we need to start doing something now.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, those mirrors are...
I love do nothing decks, but I don't think that they're good when they have to be playing against each other.
I mean, one of the best games that Kyra and I ever played, my favorite story to tell was it was GPT Salt Lake City, and I'm on blue-white, what was that stupid? Sphinx's Rev deck.
Oh, yeah, and was I on
And
what,
you were
mono
on
black?
No, you were on red-green. Like,
I was on Red Green Monsters.
yeah. And
Okay.
And literally, game 2, Kyra goes, Judge! My opponent resolved 3 Sphinx's Revelations.
The judge walked over to the table.
walked over, like, bends down, like, gets in.
Heard my appeal. And I told him my opponent resolved his 3rd Sphinx's Revelation. The judge started busting up laughing.
Everyone in the store, it was hilarious. Favorite story that we had. This is in the finals.
Yeah, this is in the
it's
finals.
in the finals of the GPT. And, like, Kyra knows that it's over.
Oh yeah, I was dead turns ago. No, I was dead by like the 2nd Sphinx's Rev.
I mean, but the thing is we sat down and you're like, okay, cool, you get the buys. Like, let's play it out for fun.
Okay.
Because that was like the classic, like, I win matchup.
Yeah. It was so funny.
Oh man, that was a fun tournament. That was a lot of fun.
And the
And then
monstrosity.
we all went out and got 5 guys afterwards.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and the judge went with us.
Yeah. I think he came down from like Boise or something, or like Pocatello or something.
Yeah,
Like,
it
he
was
came
crazy.
out ways down. That was fun.
That was fun.
Oh, you're right. Put Cop Red. Exalted Angel was the original Morph Bomb Unlimited. The format, I don't know if I agree with this gas, but sure, the format was gas. All the mana fixing made decks so interesting. Yeah.
5 guys is too strong.
5 guys is so strong.
Mm-hmm.
Too strong. Miracles was slowing down the format, not Top. So Top wasn't necessarily slowing down the format. You're right. Terminus is one of the biggest problems, but like
Top-
unexpected Miracles is like.
Well,
eh.
the issue comes with that is that Top lets you push away your win. It's also very hard for like a judge to come over and look at you using top and being like, you could have won the game 10 turns ago, and the guy's never actually had the entreat be drawn, and they can just be like, no, I couldn't have won, and they're just like going through time.
Yep.
It's a problem. I mean, I don't think that top was something that was just totally awful, but I think it did need to go.
I hope Deathrite is not the next one. Deathrite is going to be the most popular card, but the thing is, it doesn't slow down games. It puts a lot of control on some of those decks that would just destroy the format.
It enables so many decks, but the card doesn't just destroy the format. It's very, very answerable. Like, top was super hard to kill.
Punishing Fire,
you needed
Toxic Deluge, Abrupt
you
Decay,
needed-
Fatal Push, Lightning Bolt, Sword Splash. Like,
but you needed super specific cards to be able to deal with top, right? Very specific. Whereas Deathrite Shaman, it is a 1-2, guys. Like, if you're gonna pack your deck full of things to make sure that your Deathrite Shaman lives, that's your strategy, and that might be a powerful strategy.
well, I mean, landing 4 Deathrite Shamans. Landing more than one Deathrite Shaman in a game is usually very good, unless your opponent's like, "That's cool, Toxic Deluge," and you're like, "Oh."
And that's another thing, is there are so many answers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, every deck is running how many counter spells, and every deck is running how many removal spells. There's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. Miracles is the only deck that hid away their own, though. It hid away, their win cons.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. It was the only deck that would do that. But I mean, the point of getting rid of top was to nerf Miracles. It had nothing to do with the other decks using top.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing to do with that.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of sad that it hurt some of these really fun decks, but like I personally don't miss it. I'm sorry, I don't miss it.
No, I don't either.
You're right, Fox. Basically, if you're playing Tundra, you are cheating on some level.
And I really liked Miracles
100%.
too. So like the fact what I liked about what Wizards did with Miracles is they knew when Miracles became a problem.
Yeah.
Wizards knew.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're aware of it. They listen to people. Some people may not believe that, but trust me, they hear what's going on.
I mean, yeah, you can see with the bannings and the changes and
But-
the way that they're rolling out tournaments nowadays, so many things are happening.
But they let Miracles hang around for like a year after it was a problem, and they let Legacy be Miracles for a while. And a lot of people didn't like it, and a lot of people really liked it, and then finally they wanted something to change, and they got rid of top. People who played Miracles for a long time, they had their day, and I think Wizards did a really good job on this one.
I think they were relatively fair about it, yeah. And my thoughts on Topless Miracles, I think it's a fluke. I think the real control deck in the format is Blue-Black Land still. Like we
I
talked
agree.
about last week. Like, the Topless Miracles is, like, cool, but it's not going to be nearly as impressive as the old one is. You're right, the Deathrite Shaman keeps the graveyard decks in check. It's
I
true, it's
agree.
real.
And there are so many graveyard decks right now. Like, it is so crucial.
Jace player says we're making him salty because we're just piling on about the ban.
Hey, Jace player. Jace is still played in other decks. You'll be fine.
Tybucks is probably right. guys, your blue-red painter was too good. We had to get rid of top because of, you're right.
You're right,
100%.
Tybucks. Yep. I could not agree more.
There are ways of getting rid of Miracles without destroying other decks in the format. That's true.
Yeah.
But Doomsday Painter, Nick Fit 12 post. Yeah, Nick Fit got eaten alive. Doomsday is unplayable. 12 post is like, sucks to be you.
Yeah, whatever.
I wish, honestly, these 4 decks, Doomsday Painter, Nick Fit, and 12 post, are decks that I would like to still see in the format, and I think Wizards will print answers that don't make Miracles ridiculous. Yeah, Jace player, you have told us that story, and I do feel for you. Dead Guy Ale losing top, you're right. High Tide, I didn't see very many High Tide lists that played top, so maybe I'm just a crazy person. Yeah, Miracles was a huge problem for 2 to 3 years. Oh jeez, let's see. Topless.
Yes, the light is on a timer. And people keep shutting the door so that nobody walks past it.
Yep.
And that's why it's gone off twice.
Yep.
So I just open the door and then things are fine.
See, yeah, and it doesn't have to be nearly as good to be strong, but the thing is it won't be the format defining. It won't make the rounds go forever because with topless miracles, now you're not just tucking your miracles. When they come up, you're going to use them.
You have to.
Because it's a lot less reliable to put things back on.
I don't necessarily think that the new Miracles deck is like all that, but it's pretty clear that it has play. I mean, Miracles would have been a playable deck without Counterbalance and Top.
Oh yeah.
And I think that that's what we're seeing now.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's not great, guys. But it can actually win.
I think Fox is right. The lights are turning out on us because they're tired of the conversation as well.
Fair enough. We can switch it.
Yeah, so I didn't watch. I didn't pay too much attention to High Tide lists. Like the deck's hilarious. I haven't been watching too many lists recently.
I wish it was good.
Yeah.
I wish it was, but it's just not. Main players that ran. Yeah, it's such.
Hey, you can still use your candles for High Tide.
You can.
Your candelabras, Atanos. That's a High Tide thing.
Yeah, all those candles that you guys have in your collections out there, all of them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can use those in High Tide. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All of them. They're just sitting around.
That's a thing.
In your house. under your couch cushions. Just pick those up, throw it in your High Tide deck. You'll be fine.
I mean, yeah. When someone would just not concede versus Miracles because they don't want to let him sideboard. Okay.
I mean, if you know you're dead, I think it was correct to you can know you're dead really fast too.
Oh yeah.
In that matchup.
Yeah, I mean,
it is wise to concede.
One of the great things with Food Chain is like, the Jace win was never really a thing against me because I'm like, cool, draw a whole bunch of cards. Like I'll just keep cards in my hand. Oh, you're gonna win with Jace? Cool. I'm gonna just cast my Mist Hologriffins from exile. Got him.
I mean, that's not gonna for sure win or anything, but it's just funny that you still have game.
I mean, you can use them in 12 post Eldrazi if you really want.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Jorgensen. Minifer, hi. I think that's what that says. It looks like we'll wave. That's creepy. Kyra's a creepy person.
I'm saying hi. That's how I do. Leave me alone. Well, I am going to stand up for a moment.
Oh, me
grab
too.
me another drink.
We'll be back eventually.
At some point.
Very
Very soon.
Yeah, we'll be back. So we've got a game queued up. It's not round 3, but we got a 2.5 going. Oh geez, I'm not even gonna try and respond to what's going on. Cairo will be back here in a sec, but we've got Calvin and Nate on camera. And I actually didn't catch what Nate was playing. I think he's on Grixis thing. Let's see. No! He's on the Ben Special. And Calvin, I believe, is on Grixis Delver. And it looks like Nate's on the play for this. I would love to see Tin Fins and Paper. It's been so long. I've played against it online, but it just needs to. It's one of those decks that needs to be played in Paper. Okay. Nate is mulliganing his hand. Anger, though. I love the card Anger. It was one of my early favorite cards. So it looks like Nate is keeping Island, Forest Brainstorm, blue cards, and I didn't see what Calvin had. Calvin Bug Delver? I guess that's what's going on. Nate gets Ponder on turn 2. Trample, haste, flying. Makes sense. Bug still instead of blue-black land still. What are you gaining from green in the land select? Like, I guess you get Leovold is the main one. What else are you getting out of it? We had 28 players in the event today. I guess Death Rights are worth it. I mean, I could see Bugland still. You get just a little bit more. You get a little bit more of the reach with it. I like it. Yeah. You can get Crest and Grips and whatnot. I mean, I guess that works. I think it could be interesting. I'd test Bugland still. See how you feel about it. So we had Force Pitch Snapcaster on this Young Pyromancer, Force Pitch Brainstorm from Calvin. And we're going to probe, sees Angler, Tassiger, Polluted Delta. Draws a Wasteland. So we go Fetch Land into Gurmag Angler, I believe. Stifle Knot would be interesting to see. It's got potential. It's not like the metagame couldn't see it, but Daze and Force of Will are cards. Is it a glass Coke or is it a plastic Coke, Nathonian? Just play Storm again. That's how you do it. Fox, just Fox, you need to say hi to me so I know who it is that can't not play Dreadstill. Ah, yep. That's how you don't get a flat bottom. Things are happening. Sorry, guys. Probably was frozen. Cans are worse. Cans are so much worse. Ponder. Well, I guess Nate's excited that he's got 2 basics here. I'm gonna see if there's a promo for Phyrexian Dreadnought. Oh. It is the nasty new border. Oh, no. Yeah, we don't want to see that promo. Kyre's back. He didn't leave us.
What's up, guys?
This is game 1. We're playing the Ben Delve special, and it's Bug Delve.
Bug Delve, yeah?
Yeah. Versus Calvin, who's like on a... It's Grixis Delver.
Yeah.
But he led with a Underground Sea, which made it weird. Hey, look, there's a Delver in his hand. I mean, there's a Delve card.
You mean Tropical Island? The one of Trop, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I was just talking to Trace playing my deck. He played against a blue-black Tezzeret build. Transmute. Ugh. Guys, that deck is awesome.
I mean, that's what Ian can never let it go.
Yeah.
He will always Painter forever.
No, it's not Painter.
Just a transmute Tezzeret? Oh,
Or I think
it probably has Painter Stone in it.
I didn't see stones. No, I looked through it. I think it's just a Transmute Tezzeret deck.
Interesting.
It's awesome.
Interesting.
Alright, what do we got going here? Got some basic lands.
I mean, a Gurmagingler finally made it into play.
That's probably a good thing.
The funny thing is Calvin has not seen a black source. Is he playing Temur Delver?
Does not look like it.
I mean, you don't play
Typically, Young
Pyromancer
Pyromancer is only in the Grixis version.
and not have. Hey, you don't have.
I want to say I talked to Calvin just last week, and he told me Grixis.
Yeah.
I actually tested a couple games against him.
Was it
Yeah,
Thopter
it
Sword?
did. It did have Thopter Sword.
Kind of.
Yes, Jorgensen.
They do need to make Mirage basic foil promos in the Osa promo, just like the Bob promo.
Ooh, that'd be hot.
That'd be spectacular. Yeah, you used to have black for Death Ray Tournament at least.
Yeah.
Real men win the Staff of Nin. I mean, that's how it was one day. I love Collective Brutality here.
I think I've only cast Staff of Nin in EDH. Yep, we got an Underground Sea. Found it.
Yep, and this Delver dies to a Collective Brutality. Yeah, you just respond to the days by fetching and getting a land. Okay.
I will happily pay for that.
Sure. With a basic swamp, got him.
So this definitely is a Nate special. I mean, what? So what is? Talk to me a little about. Or
This
sorry,
is the
special.
Ben Friedman special.
Oh, the Ben Friedman
He's
special.
he's on this deck, like Donkey Kong.
So, you said it was Sultai? Or
I'm pretty sure it's a Sultai deck.
that's a lot of basic lands.
It is, and it's intentional. But you see the bio that he just picked up. So basically, what you're doing is you're just delving. You get a whole bunch of stuff, and you've got Snapcaster Mage and Fatal Push and Delve, and you just kind of play control
Awesome.
with Gurmag Anglers.
Well, I think Gurmag Angler's a pretty good card.
Yep, Calvin's at 1. Oh look, Gurmag Angler number 2. Life's hard.
Graveyard Order. That Yard Order, man.
Tay's under death right, John. You're so right. He should just kill himself. Calvin just killed himself.
It happens.
He meant to commit suicide. Back in my day, we maintained the game state. Back in my day.
I gotta live in your day, Fox.
Let's do it. Oh my goodness, the number of times game state has not been maintained. Where are we at? As far as time wise, we still had a whole bunch of matches that hadn't reported.
Yeah, we did.
Jeez.
So, is this the start of round? This
Nope.
is still round 2, right?
Round
So-
2, they're just playing for fun.
Awesome. Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, geez, I didn't feel like I was talking to people out there too long. Just wanted to.
I made sure to get a match on there so we could watch some stuff.
Awesome.
Back in my day, mana burn was a thing, and damage stacking was a thing.
Well, I do happen to know that Tezzeret deck is 2-0.
Oh,
so,
wow.
I mean,
We can put it on camera.
we
is what you're saying.
could put it on camera. I mean,
So what you're saying is,
I don't know.
when
I
they
don't know.
come in and ask us, you're gonna stand up and tell them this is the deck we're putting on camera.
Oh, I'll pledge allegiance to that deck.
I pledge allegiance to Tez Raider, and for the Republic, and to the Republic for which it stands.
And to Bolas, in which he stands.
That is the end of the round. If you guys can't hear, but Patrick is yelling it really loudly. Tez on stream, Jorgensen, we're here for you every day.
No, seriously, I would love to see Tez on stream. That's like all I want right now. I mean, I want to be here, and then I want to see Tez on stream. That's.
I want both of those things as well.
In that
I agree.
order.
I agree. Number 1, watch the game. Number 2, Tez on stream.
Right. Number 3, I want the lights to stop going off.
$8 for a cradle. Can you believe that?
For a Gaia's
Gaia's
Cradle?
cradle, yeah.
No, I cannot believe
Oh
that.
my goodness.
Wouldn't that be
See,
nice?
I started playing back in, 98? And even then, the cards were expensive. But
When I started, like the first set I remember playing Magic, learning Magic, was Legions.
yeah, that was 2004.
What set did you start in? What was the first set you played?
The first set that I played was Ice Age Tempest, technically. But that was it was when the cards were old. No, I was like 5 or 6.
Oh, jeez. This is Dallin Atkinson that got you.
No. I started playing in Iowa, and I got a Portal Second Age deck and played that, and then.
Yeah, and Jorgensen, those are even more expensive now. I know, because I have a cube and I don't even have one for it. Yeah, they're gross. I don't want to get one.
And then I bought 6th edition when I was in Wisconsin.
Back in 2008.
I mean, when I moved here, Torment, and so it was 2003 when I moved here,
Yeah.
and Torment had just come out, and then Judgment came out, and then Onslaught came out in the fall of 2003. So Legions was 2004. Yeah.
Fun fact, back in the days that Brian and I were first playing Magic, Brian actually hated me.
Just disgusted by this man.
Really. I know I kind of sound sarcastic right now, but I am not.
100% true. One of my really good friends was a very good
despise-
Magic player, and I'm a jealous I was much more jealous then, but I'm a jealous person by nature, and this friend did not want to hang out with me anymore, and I'm just like, screw anyone that wants to hang out with my friend more than me.
And he hated me for it.
So I hated him.
And I was just super friendly, and then finally Brian came around, and he realized that we would be best friends forever. BFF.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, that's exactly how it happened.
That's exactly how it happened.
100%.
And now here we are.
F
forever.
BFF forever. Okay. Yeah. I did open the Ice Age rulebook and I hit banning. I was like, what? No. Okay, peace. And then I started playing Portal Second Age. Let's see.
Kai Buddha's 99 World Champ deck, yeah? Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Oh, I remember when they used to sell the champ decks like that.
I picked
It's been a while since they
Yeah,
had
it has. I picked up the 98 champ decks because that was like it's like a throwback to Magic, but that's Rexer and Mono Blue and Slide
Yeah.
and White.
In fact, I distinctly remember you having a couple when I was first getting into like more competitive Magic. I swear you had one. Maybe it was Josh that had one then.
I think Josh had one.
Yeah.
Josh now. Stifled Jace.
Maybe it was down.
So Jace was going to bounce that Delver? What's going on?
Stifle. I'm not sure.
Stifle did something and then Lightning Bolt killed the Jace.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You know, Mox Diamonds weren't even like super expensive until I don't know, maybe 3 years ago.
All right, coverage team. We
What's
have
up, man?
Paul and Ian.
Oh, and that's not Tezzeret. Is that Tezzeret?
That is
that's
Tezzeret.
Tezzeret. Okay, good.
It made it on there.
Guy is so excited for Tezzeret.
I do want to watch it.
What's going on in there?
We had Nate and Calvin just playing a game.
I'm gonna tell them that
Thank you, Pat.
they need to come on out.
Well, it looked like someone won that game.
Yeah,
I think Calvin did. Calvin
No,
did.
it wasn't that long ago. I swear, when like Ancient Tombs and Mox Diamonds, I remember seeing Mox Diamonds for like $10 a couple of years back, and it was like, oh wow, and then just like immediately they just shot up. Next thing you know, they were 30, and now they're just like way out there.
They're ridiculous.
Yeah.
Box Diamonds are so expensive.
Yeah.
City of Traders as well. You're just like,
Uh-huh.
why is this card? That's
Yeah.
a thing. That is not Paul.
You bought a box of Homelands over a Portal 3 Kingdoms because your friend told you wouldn't play those cards. Oh,
I feel sorry for you.
yeah.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you. Oh, that's been bugging me this whole time.
Yeah.
Ian just somehow he just knew.
It's done been fixed.
He's a Tezzerator player. He just knows.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, Hurley.
You know,
When you watch the 96, 98, like the World Championships and Pro Tours and things like that, and they're just like, and you're just like, it's painful. I agree. It's 100%. Just raw backing it. They were raw dogging it, and you're just like, nah. Ugh. That's, yeah.
yeah, Eldrazi definitely did change it.
I think so.
Mostly for the lands, probably less so for the Mox.
Yeah,
But the
City
lands.
of Traders and Ancient Tomb definitely
Yeah.
saw a spike from it. And Jorgensen's right. It wasn't money back then. That's not how That's not how it was.
People still raw dogging at old school games? I don't know. Those guys are hardcore.
That's true.
Yeah. You're like, I have all this money, and I don't care.
I mean, some of them you can get a lot of the. There's a lot of reprints of old school cards that you can play in old school that are just not worth anything. But
You got your LEDs for 75, yeah?
It's a good deal.
I wish I did that
That would have been a smart thing.
so that I could play Charbelcher.
I will say this though, guys. I love telling this story. I had a friend, and he had a foil Kamigawa Sensei's Dividing Top, and I wanted it for my cube. And guess how much that foil was worth at the time?
Wait, what year is this?
2010, 2011, maybe. Probably 2010.
$15.
20
Oh,
for the foil.
yeah.
20 for the foil. And I asked him, I was like, so, you gonna trade that to me? And he looks at me and he goes, dude, I really like this. Like, I really want to keep it. And I'm like, no worries, I'm gonna trade you a normal one towards it. You're still gonna have one, you know. I'm not making you get rid of the one that you needed. Yeah, so I got the $20 one, and then Miracles became a thing, and then it's been $100 ever since. Like, that's a trade, my friend.
Fox said Tree Fitty and Jorgensen said 11. We were all wrong.
11. It was 20. It was 20. Because it was doing something at the time. Like, it wasn't just dead. Keep in mind, this is a card that's in, like, everybody's EDH. And that's how it had value. So, the foil had value where, like, the normal one didn't. So that's why the foil was, like, $20, even though the normal one was super cheap. Alright, we got a Chalice on 1. This is...
Chalice and 1, I believe Phyrexian Revoker is naming Mox Diamond. Sanctum Prelate is going to be
Sanctum
on
Prelate.
2?
He said 4. Yeah, 4. So this is wise by Paul because he obviously knows that Tezzeret is the thing that's gonna happen.
Oh,
that-
the tight spot. Tight spot was in just.
That is
Text box 4.
he has a dice on it, Brian.
I don't care. Doesn't change anything.
He's like, I have tech and I can use it.
That
Dang it, and he go and use it.
those hacks. And we're gonna say.
Whoa, you got Phyrexian Dreadnought pulled up on the screen over here.
I do.
Were you talking about some Dreadnought?
We may or may not have been. I can neither confirm nor deny.
The Stifle Dreadnought deck, yeah.
I
Ooh,
believe it's on Mox Diamond.
that's a conversation.
Is it Mox Diamond that it's on? I can't remember. Whatever.
I would assume so. There's not a whole lot.
Revoker is on Food Chain. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Foil top is over $100, Jorgensen.
Yeah, I mean it's gone down a little bit, Jorgensen, due to it being banned, obviously, but it's holding value like really strong.
Commander's a thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. EDH is still it's still relevant. People play it all the time. Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna toss your napkin with your Nether Spirits, Curse Scroll, and Sinkholes.
So we've got a
Thanks for
Sanctum
getting that
Prelate on
list for me.
4,
You got it.
a Sanctum Prelate on 2, and this Phyrexian Revoker. Yep, Jace player is. We were talking about. I cheated on you, and we talked about stacking them off.
Guys, I love Dreadnought. I actually owned one not too long ago, and I traded it, and I cried. I was happy with what I got because I think I traded it towards a foil Academy Runes, and I was happy about that. But I miss Dreadnought. Love that card.
This game feels very much over.
Yeah, it's not looking good for the Tezzeret.
There's a Sahili Rai in the Tezzeret deck. I just saw a Sahili Rai. Card seeing play, not in standard.
And once again, we got another really, really fast game. Yeah, so it looks like Death and Taxes actually has a lot of game against Tezzeret. Which is surprising. I wouldn't have expected to see 2 Sanctum Prelates in game 1. Like, who would have guessed that?
That's rough. Let's see what he's saying, because it sounds like Paul, or it looks like Paul's saying something. There are just many foil playsets and tops that aren't being used in the EDH. Yeah, 1, 2, and 4 were all turned off in the last one.
Yeah.
That's a... Wow.
And on the bright side, Ian doesn't really play ones, but
Not a ton. But like
any.
The one thing that his hand was full of was Dak Faden and Celia Roach are both getting CMC3.
Oh, that Crucible of Worlds. Speaking of Crucible of Worlds, guys, I need one of those. I just picked up some cards for this this mono black deck I was talking about earlier in the stream. Yep.
QC saying this is a terrible matchup. Needle Effects Crush Tez, yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, because you've got Revokers, you've got your Recruiters, you've got Sanctum Prelates.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, I just wasn't expecting game 1 to see that much hate. I would have expected to see like some Thalias, maybe some Moms, but no.
yeah,
He
well,
just
I
went
guess
straight-
guess
he
you
just
keep
went
the
straight
right
for the
hand and have
shutdown.
Revoker on too, and you're just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay.
Nope, he had what he needed.
Well,
And that is one reason that I don't think Tezzeret is like exactly what you want to be doing right now. It is very easy to hate out artifacts,
oh yeah.
and even though Ian is a very good player, it's gonna be rough for him to battle through this. Yes, Tez does have bridge, but Flicker Wisp don't care.
That's so true. You just flicker, you just build up your board, Flicker Wisp it, and go whoop, swing.
Yeah, but I think
Hey,
he's got multiple bridge though.
That's true. Ian saying he should have mulliganed one more time.
Yeah.
Potentially.
It didn't look like his hand was particularly bad. It just got shut down so fast.
Yep. Just so happens. Sorry, guys. You might see a couple of hiccups and some catches here while we're in between games. This computer is deciding to be nah right now, but it's okay. We'll get there. Paul just said I'll get there. But you might. You probably will. Paul's one of the guys that actually goes back. He tends to go back and watch his replays quite frequently.
He watches his own replays?
Yeah, he watches every time he gets on camera. He watches the replay, and he tells me if I've come up with a line and said, why did you do it this way, he'll tell me about it the next week. So I always hear feedback from him specifically.
That's great.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm actually a person who loves to go back and watch, me playing on a stream, but I have not watched back me commentating on one.
It's just because we're so great. We don't need.
Once is good enough. Look at that. He's digging in. He just went past the Slaughter Games. What an interesting card. Hello.
Tez players think I don't like your Snapcaster mate, so I'm just going to cast Nether Void.
There you go. Does he have Nether Void? I haven't seen a Nether Void around here, but it wouldn't surprise me if there were. That card is nasty.
Paul has a Mother of Runes down, and he's got, it looks like a Rashadan port getting ready to go. That's another funny thing. Paul, between rounds, will also turn on the stream and watch.
That's cool.
Yeah. Paul's one of those guys.
I mean,
very good Legacy player. He's been playing for a long time.
Well, what's awesome is, like, you watching Legacy, you're always going to get more information about it.
Oh, yeah.
You're constantly learning.
Oh, yeah. Well, and it just rewards you so much for seeing more interactions. If you just know more of what's going on and seeing how different players interact with it, like, yeah. If you're not playing at least one unplayable E-World in Tez, you're doing it wrong. Okay. Sure.
I mean, you said it. I didn't.
Yep. Well, now we got a Chalice on one. That's...
Yeah, the Tez is already in play. I mean, this is going to be rough for Paul. Okay, never mind. I was going to say it's going to be rough, and then I did not know about the Council's judgment.
Council's judgment's fine, but, like, I guess there's a Wasteland in Paul's
It looks like he does have another
hand.
one as well.
Shh, don't speak.
Oh, sorry.
You're right.
Gonna Wasteland the
Rashadan Port,
and
tap 4,
slam
get a
another
Tez Raider. Another Tez Raider. Tezzeret, Agent of Bolas, who just says, I'm going to look at the top, is it 4 or 5 cards?
5.
And pull an artifact out of it?
Yep. You reveal
And
an
it
artifact.
fails to find.
That's interesting.
Yes, he has at least one transmute artifact.
Yeah, I actually believe he has like 2. If I got to kind of skim through his deck before this round, but...
QC says, I go to buy a card earlier and store owner asked me, is it a good card or a bad card? Bad. I answered bad card. He searches it and tells me, you weren't kidding. Tez was slain by democracy.
Yeah, he was.
Nah. It's okay. If he planned on +1 Tez, he should have done it before the Chalice. If he did, he could have played Mox and used the Waste in his hand. Yeah, that makes sense.
Respect the yard.
You're right, Tez is in exile. I don't think it'll matter. If it does, I'll make sure to point it out. An Aether Vial effect for Planeswalkers. Because we have one for spells and we have one for creatures. Is there going to be a way that we can ratchet it up and put Planeswalkers into play?
Well, are you talking about the As Foretold, the new one?
As Foretold's for...
That's for anything. Anything. As Foretold can cast any spell.
No.
Yeah, I have one in my binder. It's all foil and whatnot. Don't make me get it.
As Foretold.
We got 60K.
Chat, would you mind before the card pulls up, explaining to Brian what it really does? Make him feel silly.
For a spell you cast with converted mana cost X or less. That's a card. It's a $20 foil.
I'll trade you mine.
I don't want it.
Okay. Alright, so we've got the bridge. We've got lots of artifacts. Looks like he's gonna want to win the game with the Tez ult, which is gonna be sweet.
The Tez ult right now hits for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 2. Right?
Yeah. 14 damage.
Gain 14 life.
Yep. And within within the next 2 turns, that he may be able to get in some damage with the Baleful Strix.
Yeah, I guess you can swing one and then...
You swing one, then you play your
cast
card.
Yeah, cast or put it in the play or whatever. Swing one. Okay, we're going to plus and we're going to look at top 5. There's another Ensnaring Bridge, a Mox Diamond, another thing, an Engineered Plague. You just play Plague and put it on humans and kill that mom? No. You can't
take another bridge.
Yeah, it has to get an artifact.
Yeah, and this goes back to what was said in the chat is that Flicker Wisp can just kind of wreck, and may as well grab another.
Well, he has to be careful here because this Baleful Strix could potentially draw him something he can't cast. Oh,
and he found a land. All right,
there you go. That's one way to do it.
Yeah, it was definitely risky. I'm a little surprised that he even picked a card off the Tez, but it looked like it paid out.
I mean, yeah, you can just cast Show and Tell.
See, you need as Foretold for your Niv Mizzet deck.
You're not wrong.
I'm
As
not.
Foretold is sweet,
Yeah.
but I need to play Niv Mizzet as well.
Look at that good guy Ian over there. Had a germ token for him.
Ian has the RK Post Hitler one as well. That's what he's saying.
Oh yeah. Do you want the Hitler one, or do you want the germ?
Yep. Now, Paul's counting the number of artifacts to play. It's now at 9, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Correct.
Yep. And he's just gonna scoop it up.
It's at 9, and Paul's like, okay.
He's like, all right, I'm done.
Yep. I mean, just
Yeah,
one more artifact and it's over.
No, he doesn't even need another artifact because he draws his card for the turn. He's able to attack with the Baleful Strix and put him down to 18
and
then he ults the Tez. So he doesn't actually need to draw an artifact there.
It's 1 and 1. And you're right, they should wash their hands because they did get germs on it.
If that's the case, most people that play Legacy should probably wash their hands.
Especially nowadays, now that Stoneforge is like the deck.
Stoneforge is everywhere.
Just like, wash your hand, go away. I don't want to touch you.
It's so good too.
You've got cuties.
I just, I remember when they first banned Jace the Mind Sculptor and Stoneforge from Standard. Everybody was like, "Oh yeah, Jace we knew," but everybody was super surprised about Stoneforge. I mean, maybe some more than others, but still, people were like, "Really, Stoneforge? Why?" And next thing you know, it's just like one of the best cards in Legacy. Like, yeah, it kind of shouldn't be in Modern, guys.
It's only kind of good.
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh man.
The Top Hat Germ, yeah, is best Germ.
You're not wrong, Jorgensen. Not wrong.
I think any of Arcade Post's tokens I'd classify as the best. I think they're all super awesome. Okay, now this is a start that Paul actually really wanted. Because now he can't be chaliced out.
Yeah. Because he can get his 1 mana creatures in.
Yeah.
And Ian's starting with a decent start as well. He's got a lot of good mana there. That's 4 mana next turn. He could have a Tezzerator or a Tezzeret Agent of Bolas out next turn.
He has a City of Traders in hand. He can have more mana than that.
He could, but I think with the other lands in his hand, he's going to go somewhere else and just go for 4 mana. Pethinil, I believe, is naming Tezzeret.
I would assume it's Tezzeret. I didn't... And Scumcaster Mage.
Scumforge Mystic.
Scumforge Mystic and Scumcaster Mage. Yep.
I guess the new Battle Scroll would be in Standard. Makes sense. So we're going to see what land Ian's going to play. City of Traders. Okay. 3. Cast a Baleful Strix and draw a card.
And he gets the float of mana.
is that white bordered card?
I do not know.
We'll find it here in a second. I actually don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't either.
And now we're gonna pay
Then again, I didn't
3
see
mana
that.
and get an Ensnaring Bridge. We're getting started.
And there's Mom.
Yep. So with the trigger, he's going to get a second Mom into play, take it up to 2, draw his card for the turn, and still not see a white source. I mean, you could still get it with Aether Vial. Curse Totem. Curse Totem, you're right, Jade. You're right, Fluent Design.
Jeez, you can see better than I can. Goodness. Oh yeah, there it is. Cursed Totem.
Players can't play activated abilities of creatures. This may or may not be very good against things.
I think it's gonna be a little relevant.
I think it will be.
Inventor's Fair. Now that is a good card right here.
I get a gain a life every turn and then search for exactly the artifact I need.
Yeah, at some point in the game.
Yep.
I think just the gaining life every turn is going to be huge. Where Ensnaring Bridge eventually, at some point, it's going to become super relevant. So this might.
Phyrexian Revoker is naming Helm of Obedience.
Okay.
Yep. So I will.
So it's really surprising hearing Helm when there's on board things that they can name.
So there's an attack for 1 with a block for Baleful Strix.
MTGU Fight Club. He needs the file. After this round?
I don't know if I have enough bandwidth to do it all. Why is Paul talking about mana confluences? Regardless, Ian's got a very good lock right here.
Well, the fact that Paul hasn't actually found white mana, not only that, but a lot of the creatures might not even work due to the Cursed Totem. This is like 2 hate decks trying to hate the other one out.
Yeah.
It's definitely interesting.
Yep. Gain 1 life every turn. Gain 1 life every turn.
We got a Sanctum Prelate. So this is not something that Ian particularly wants to see. Prelate's on 2. This is rough. I'm pretty sure that it's the Transmute in his hand.
Gaining a life. Things and stuff. Sorry guys, I'm not talking because I'm looking at something. I don't know why Kyra's not talking.
It's because you stopped talking. What the heck?
I'm so sorry. I'm ruining your life.
Yeah, you kind of are.
They are both haters. Sanctum Prelate on 2 and then Dak Faden.
And we got a DAC.
So you do Dak
This
Faden
is-
and you're gonna take this Phyrexian Revoker and figure out the Transmute artifact.
I mean, this is probably one of the only cards left in his deck that he can really just cast, and it's going to do something, which is excellent for him.
So it's still tapped.
It is still tapped.
Okay, and he.
Yeah, okay, they got that. Yeah, it's still on Helm of Obedience, but no, correct me if I'm wrong, but does it say opponents can't cast that spell, or does it say players can't? I'm pretty sure it's opponent.
Phyrexian Revoker?
Yeah.
No, it's activated abilities of the name card.
Of the name card?
Can't.
Okay. So he will need to find a way to get rid of it for Helm of Obedience, which I believe he still has. Is that a Massacre?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, that is huge.
Yeah. And so he stole the Phyrexian Revoker when it would have been better to take the Pithing Needle
Yeah.
or take the Aether Vial. But that's his life.
Yeah. So have you been able to find out if the Pithing Needle is for sure on Tezzeret? I mean, I assume it would be.
I believe it is. I didn't hear him when they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Revoker steal and kill it. I agree with all you guys. Ensnaring Bridge.
I will
So-
take
so-
I will take your toy. And
So
then break it.
he attacked the 2 toughness creature or 2 power creatures because he had 2 cards in hand. Then he cast the Massacre. This Phyrexian Revoker is now naming Dak Faden.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yep. Because getting your toys taken does not feel good.
That's my toy.
I want it. No, you don't. You don't get the toy.
D&T is a fun breaker.
Yeah, just getting in there and being like, nope.
I don't know why, but maybe it's just me. But I love watching my opponents squirm.
Kaya's gonna handle all this for 1 second.
All right, so the Mirror Crusader. Yeah, that's a card. We get in with that, and now this is gonna force Ian to play out his hand a lot, because he needs to at least drop down to 1 card to keep those 2 from attacking. Now we're cracking the Inventor's Fair.
I'm back. Wait, I'm almost back.
He's almost back. Greatest thief in the multiverse, but it's pretty lame. All right, we've got sword. Now we just need to find the other part in this. I imagine he'd make pretty quick work of this game once he finds Thopter Foundry, I believe. So for those of you who don't know, Sword of the Meek, the card that Ian just searched for, kind of has a 1 mana combo that they can just loop as many times as they want, allowing them to get, for each mana they pay, they can get a Thopter.
I might be picking up Bizarre
And
Baghdad's for
gain-
Bylist.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I like it. It's because Travis bought Ethereum for his friend and couldn't buy more when it hit a big drop. And so his friend's like, okay, I'll get you Bizarres. Got him.
Alright, so what do we got here?
So, Dread of Night. So all white creatures have
-1,
-1. So this
that really nerfs the Crusader for sure.
Yep.
Another Revoker, and we're gonna name. Okay, so he pointed to the Mox.
Yep.
We get in. He's gonna hit for 3
Yep.
total. No, 4.
4.
Sorry. All right, this is. He is hard pressed now.
Okay, he's got to dump the cards out of his hand. So he drew a land. Now you don't play this Mox Diamond except for free. You're not going to discard a land to it. You're going to play your land out.
Well, he may want to do it just to get rid of the card.
So he's going to play the land. He's going to play the Mox Diamond to put it into play and get rid of it. And then he's got to use this Transmute Artifact, I think. That's... Because can't you just Sword of the Meek? Oh, and then he had the Flicker was for the Ensnaring Bridge. Yep.
Gotcha.
That's how you do it.
Kind of left playing EDH.
You're right, Absolute Flips. No, not playing EDH.
Not quite.
Not the same thing. And so that was Paul. Now 3 goes to Paul. Who knew Death and Tax is so good?
Paul.
Port can't tap Mox Diamond, which is nice here too. You're right, it can't tap Mox Diamond, but when Mox Diamond is being named by a Phyrexian Revoker, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, nope, but Revoker can.
Got him.
All right.
Oh, we got.
No, that was sweet seeing some Tez. I mean, Tezzeret dealt 18 damage for the game that he won. That's a lot, guys.
It is a lot, and that was Paul on Death and Taxes.
So where are we sitting on our round, Pat? How much longer?
There's
We're
something
gonna-
like 20. Let me check real quick. We're at 21 minutes left. I've got.
Do you
I've
think?
got to report a couple more.
Do you think we could get a game? Somebody to move a game 3 into
I'll
here?
look around and see.
Find us a game.
Sweet.
They can't see us.
It is really blurry.
Come on. There we go. There's the
Oh,
focus.
focus.
Take a second. Now you did.
All right.
Oh, there's a monster person I was actually supposed to call about them giving us monster or something.
So I gotta say, even though I'm a player who does not appreciate white decks typically, I actually like Death and Taxes. I feel like it's Mono White's version of just being Jund. I tease.
Oh man,
Yeah,
it's
it's
like vintage white trash.
No, I actually really like the Death and Taxes deck. It's sweet. I like the versions that I've read though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that they're better, but I like them more.
I mean, like you gain Magus of the Moon and stuff.
Yeah, you get Imperial Recruiters, I think.
Yeah, but why would you get Imperial Recruiters when you can just get
Recruiter
the guard?
Yeah. Because the red cards are cooler. That's why.
You're right.
Or hotter. I don't know. I
mean-
guess they're more hot.
Chandra is on fire.
She is.
She's probably the hottest of all the Planeswalkers.
Well, guys, glorious end. Is Legacy ready for the revolution? The answer to that, Fox?
You're so
No.
right. That's what the answer is.
No.
No,
They're not ready.
not ready.
They just went through a revolution. They can't deal with another one right now.
No, it's not Death and Taxes and Junk. It's Jund, sir. Jund. Death and Taxes is just White's version of Jund.
Nah,
If you can't beat him, join him, right?
Yep.
Maybe I should just get Mishra's Workshops and play Stacks in Legacy. I mean Vintage. I can't play Mishra's Workshops in Legacy. Shh, I know
Somebody
my
needs to
formats.
get this fool off of Vintage.
I love.
Guys, if you want to play Vintage, all you really need to do is just roll 2 dice and see if you roll a higher number than the other person. And then if you do, you win. And if you don't, then you lose.
Not true. Dredge Mirror Match. I was on the draw and won.
Alright, I may have just said that to get a reaction out of you, but... Yeah,
Dis-
Jund is all good cards.
Disproved.
Yeah,
Lawyered!
Death and Taxes has much more synergy. That is very true. The only reason I said what I did is because both decks tend to like disrupt the opponent's strategy. That's all. They're not really all that similar. They just have a similar game plan, but they do it in a different way.
Doesn't let me Kappa from here. Rip. I can Kappa here. Right? Nope. Still doesn't let me do it. It's the
Today I
worst.
learned miracles equals Jund.
Every deck equals Jund. In Kyreland, every deck equals Jund.
It's all just good decks, guys. I talk about Jund, but in all reality, I love them all so much.
See, Vintage Master says it's interactive and thought it really is. If you've ever played against some of the very best Vintage players, it's tough. It's just mind bending.
I've actually watched a lot of the Vintage leagues.
So like you've seen Rich Shane.
Yeah, like Randy Bueller.
Have you watched
runs them or
Brian?
whatever. Yeah, I watched them. They're sweet.
Brian Kelly play.
Yeah, I have.
He is the most intense person to play against. In this last Vintage Daily, he was my round 3 opponent, and I'm like,
You're like, well, crap.
this is gonna be tough.
Well, did you win or what?
No, I got crushed. But I dredged him out one game because Dredge is Dredge.
Because Dredge is Dredge.
Dredge is Dredge. And he's like, hate card. And do this. Like, game 1 I won, obviously, because I'm playing Dredge. And game 2 he's like, hate card. And I'm like, cool. And then game 3 it was like actually pretty close and intense. And he's like, hate card. And I'm like, I almost got their My Vampire Hexmage. I was going to say Vexing Hexpire or something.
Jeez.
Vexmire Hempage. Hempmage.
I remember back in the day when I played Vampire Hexmage in my standard deck, and it didn't remove counters from a Dark Depths. You just played a 2/1 First Striker and then hoped you flipped a black card on Nocturnus.
Yeah, well,
Good times.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and then you just kill her Jace. Like, that's what it was for. Ooh, Joe Brennan. Welcome. That's very Fox is sweet. There's an actual Kappa. Thank you to the Nathonian. Congrats on the Alpha Lotus. Thank you. See, now we can actually see who HC Fox is.
He's been asked. He's been called out.
So Fox said, I saw a trade go down. We also talked outside the venue about the vintage top 8, the Eternal Weekend. Fox will never tell us who he is.
Nope.
I'll never know. No.
He's just Fox. That's it.
He's the Foxy Fox. Hey, you know, so I'm getting my Japanese foil food chains.
Yeah, I heard about that. I was going to ask.
So the guy who's bringing them to me is Julian, the European Julian of, what's that, Legacy something, Legacy Pro League or something.
Okay.
Premier League. He's that guy.
Wow.
So he'll be hand delivering me. And I'm going to take him out to dinner. So I get to meet some Legacy greats.
Yeah, that
Exciting.
seems awesome.
Yes. So the vintage top 8 Eternal Weekend, this is when the blue-white Landstill deck won. And a lot of people in chat were saying that he was either playing extra lands or like doing shady stuff. He had like bent up cards, things like that. So that's what we're talking about here between Fox and Vintage Master.
Gotcha.
So we're hearing more things from out there. Someone just 120. And yeah. Oh man. That actually was one of the matches I watched. Oh man, I feel for you. Also, please, Joe, don't play any more Mentor. Don't play Jeskai Mentor. Deck is terrible. No one wants to see it played in Vintage anymore. Just play
Middle of
Dredge.
games.
Everybody?
Yeah.
Jeez. We must
Oh my
be wrapping
goodness.
things up then.
Yeah,
Oh my
there's
goodness.
still like 7 tables playing.
So Joe, I heard about all these things. I heard about the Library Lotus, and I forgot that it was against you, that's what had happened. But when you see, so think about in Vintage, you see a card that literally says, draw 2 cards every turn.
Okay.
And then you have your Lotus in your opener, so you go like, Thing, Lotus, find a Jace, play your Jace, and then just always draw like a million cards every turn. Oh. Hey, Roche. It's Bryce. What's up?
Bryce.
Hey.
Oh, nice. That's a pretty one.
This print?
Shadowed Brainstorm. Yeah, in Eternal Masters there was a few print runs that went sour. So black Brainstorm.
Well, it's like the Shadowed Hymnatorix where it's all purple and there's no blue.
Yeah, we have a shadowed Hydroblast.
Ooh.
I got that, and I got the days
Brainstorm, though.
as well.
Oh, that's cool.
That was Travis walking in with some very sweet things.
Look at look. Cards look like proxies.
They do look like proxies.
They do.
But
Right?
they actually
But they're
do.
actual
They're
cards.
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
So, Joe, you're going to be in Vegas. What decks are you thinking about bringing?
All the decks.
Yeah, I'm curious.
While we wait.
What are the choices?
What are you doing? A foil. So you're the from the EMA, the foil black one.
I haven't seen a foil.
I haven't seen one. Of
I haven't
those.
seen a foil.
I saw a foil of the Hymnatorok. I've seen one of them.
Yeah.
Where it was the shaded Hymnatorok. Oh my goodness. Are you in traffic outside of Barstow right now?
Ugh.
Oh.
Yes, it is better.
It's way better than that. We have 28 players.
So much
show up.
better.
We've got 1 million people in the chat.
Yeah.
It's great. Also, in case anyone cares, the Vintage Challenge, not this last Saturday, but the Saturday before, the first one of the new Vintage Challenge things. I'm Jay Branderson. That was my dredge deck that I totally just ripped off of Montolio, who's way better at playing it than I am. But I was the only 5-1 dredge player, so the thing.
That is sweet.
But yeah, I am the Jay Branderson.
Finally made
I'm
it
very
through.
bad at Magic, but I can win some things every once in a while. Oh my goodness. A Masks foil brainstorm. I guess mask foils are fine.
I like him.
It's either that or the promo. Yeah, a black one. I like the mask foil art way better than this. I'm just a Chris Rush fan. I will play Chris Rush brainstorms, especially since I have Groot Storms and a signed set. That's why I'll do it. But when it's the only one you've got, I get the Mercadian Mask one, hands down, is the best art of brainstorms. Not close.
Yeah, I like it.
I just like Chris Rush for the thing.
There's a lot of nostalgia there.
Original frame foils are gorgeous.
They really are.
That's why I'm getting food chain foils.
Yeah.
Mercadian Masks. Also,
good Lord.
drafting a box of Mercadian Masks. They so are. Think of the original foils. Original foil Bob. Nope. The promo foil Bob's good.
Yeah.
Foil Misdirection. That's one of the ones that I love. That signature. Oh. Vintage is actually the top decks. So many of the cards now in Vintage are in the new frame.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yes. So Bryce, I did listen to it. It was interesting. The Eric Klug one was a lot of fun to listen to, because Klug is just very humble but very skilled. And then I just listened to this most recent one with Scryfall, which was okay. It wasn't the best KTM that I've listened to, but
Yeah. The Bob's Art promos. We're talking about the promo ones.
Black original foils, Avatar of Woe foil.
Any of them are awesome. I don't,
Just because you have that deep bubbling swamp black.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Foil Massacre, okay. Yep, pack foil Bob's are modern frame. The normal ones are promos. Oh, I'm thinking about my favorite foils right now.
Foil Cabal Therapy.
I mean, my Manipulate Fates are the OG foils. Foil Fierce Empath.
Foil Fierce Empath.
Foil Cabal Therapy, that is a spectacular one.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
Reminiscing, guys. This is great. I'm sad the next round hasn't started yet. This has happened a lot more than it used to. When we had miracles,
So far,
we would get
I
rounds
have
that would
not.
last
I have
all
not sat down and actually, or sorry, this is my third time doing this, and I have not gone through one where the round didn't go by fast, which is super weird because guys, the deck I play goes to end of rounds, and yet we featured the first round, and it tore through Brian's food chain deck super fast.
Paul's asking if Delver is going to come back. I mean, you could be potentially playing against Delver, Paul. It might happen. It very well could happen. Joe, it was a pleasure to chat with you as well. Have fun. Get
sure.
sleep.
Have a nice night.
Have a nice night. Foil bargain. All of these are just so much better in person. All of these
They
OG
are.
foils. That's what it's all about.
I love all the old ones.
I bet Paul ends up winning this whole thing. In Death and Taxes. We could see it again. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, Death and Taxes is an interactive deck. It's a lot of fun to watch.
It is.
You have the most slow TCG player.
Well, it's particularly slow because we're
10
streaming
minutes left, one
and
round.
we got those things left.
Or
We've
one
got
more
all
match
those things
thing.
in.
Yep.
Deckmasters foil Necropotence.
I have seen one of those. Those are sweet.
Foil bargain. Okay. Yeah, I guess. Foil Radiant Archangel for an unlimited Lotus. Wow. Wow.
For an unlimited Lotus. Jeez.
Is Radiant out of... For some reason, I always think of Prophecy when I think of these cards. It's like Prophecy or Nemesis where all these cards came out.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Urza's Legacy.
Legacy.
Okay, right when foils, yeah. I can see it. You got the much better end of the deal, Bryce.
Yeah.
Man.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Only a tiny bit closer.
Price back then. Oh man.
Well, when
that's
foils
crazy.
first came out, actually getting a foil in a pack was like nuts. It's like
Yeah, they
it's
weren't
like
very
the way that masterpieces are now. That's how like hard it was to get specific like rares like this.
Yeah, as the game grows, there's so many players out there that want the foils. They got to increase them.
Yep.
Increase their.
Yeah.
common. Is that Bryce?
Rose
It
is Bryce. He's yep. You get the masterpiece entombs. Masterpiece entombs are way better than the Graveborn. Graveborn foils are like
I don't think I
worst
like any
unmasked
of them.
foil ever.
Yeah, they're not good.
German foil Mercadian mask pack foils, like German Mercadian mask pack foils, unmasked are gorgeous. They're incredible. Wow.
Good call.
So
Good call. Jorgensen, jeez.
you were gonna pay him $80, or it was gonna pay you $80? Because if he was gonna pay you, you done goofed.
We turned down the $80 offer. Oh yeah, you should have taken it.
Yeah. But if it didn't get banned, like it makes a ton
Yeah.
of sense to not, right? Well,
Well, Memory Jar, that was emergency banned, correct? Because that was right after that was during
Yeah.
Combo Winter.
Yeah.
They banned a bunch of cards and then
Memory Jar
then they had to
was
they had-
Combo Winter.
Yeah, well they had to emergency ban
Yeah, exactly.
Memory Jar. They got rid of everything except for Memory Jar.
Jace doesn't want the Entomb because he doesn't like the Entomb is one of the good-looking ones. Entomb, Daze, and Counterspell are the good-looking invocations.
Oh,
DarkRit's not
I love
terrible.
the Entomb Invocation.
Oh yeah,
You know the other one I like? I like Consecrated Sphinx.
yeah.
Surprisingly enough,
That's
I
one
really
of the
like
ones
it.
I opened in a treasure chest online
Yeah, I would.
because of that vintage challenge.
I would keep that one if I got one.
See, Bryce has it right. Get one Invocation, one Graveborn,
Wait.
one Judge, and one non-foil.
Wait, whoa, hold on. What was your list of good invocations?
Entomb, Daze, Counterspell.
I have one to add. I love the Mind Twist.
Yes, Mind
The
Twist,
Twist
absolutely.
is awesome.
I have not seen a Mind Twist in
I
in
own
this
one.
store.
I own one.
Good job, sir.
It's in my car.
In your cube.
It is in my cube.
There you go.
Yeah, it was.
That Mind Twist is nice looking. You're right.
It's the first foil printing of Mind Twist.
Bryce, I've been mentioning vintage this whole time. Just go back. Just scroll back through the chat.
Really, scroll through the chat. It's been all vintage, and then you popped in, and we were still talking about vintage.
Yep.
Then we started talking about foils.
Yep. Yeah. See, Paul said also Mind Twist. And it's looking. Just saying. You're right, Paul.
Yeah,
We agree. He agrees with you.
yeah.
I agree with.
I
both
actually
of you.
did not read what you had said before I said it, so we are on the same wavelength here.
That's just how it works.
Yeah, I love the Mind Twist.
Oh.
Ah, and like the price on it was so good too. Like most cards when they come out in like an invocation or like a masterpiece type thing, the prices are super high if it's their first printing in foil. So when I saw that Mind Twist was like $35, I was like,
Got it.
yeah,
Always.
I bought it literally 2 days ago. I was really happy about it.
Yep. I mean, Magic Online is not that bad as long as you have a computer that works. And then playing Vintage online, it's like $600 for like a decent deck, or like $200 if you want to play Dredge. If you already have your forces, it's really cheap. So, Vintage. Vintage, isn't that old people's clothing or something? You're probably
Yes.
right. Yep. Let's see. Ryguy said, "What's Vintage? Vintage, the greatest format, comes right before Legacy. Right before Legacy.
People often overlook it. That's how close it is in front of Legacy. They just speed bump right over it.
Yep. How about Spell Pierce is fine.
It's okay.
It doesn't like of the blue counter magic cards. Daze is like
Daze.
number 1, not close. Counter
Daze is
Spell is number
gorgeous.
2, and then you can kind of just rank the other ones however
Yeah.
you see fit because they're fine. But like Force of Will was just like nah.
You know what I'm really disappointed with?
Uh-huh.
Containment Priest. Because that's another one that just got its first foil printing, and like Containment Priest does not look good.
It looks terrible.
It looks really bad.
That's another
like-
one that I opened in my things.
Yeah.
My treasure chest.
Like the size of the person in Containment Priest like does not match up to the surroundings at all. It just looks like really, really weird.
yeah.
It doesn't look good.
Shops is a great one to do online. I agree.
Shops is sweet.
Paul, it's not wrong. That makes sense. Let's see. I don't understand this Twitch logo. This little Twitch icon that Ray Guy did. Twitch.
I think it's a movement of support.
I got it. Yep. I understand. I agree. 100%. Now, the round just ended, so it looks like we're close.
Yeah, we are. It's a boot time.
Paul, let us know what's going on. So we're gonna just stare blankly into the eyes of this camera thing. What the next 35 invocations will be, I don't know. You know, I would love to see a food chain invocation.
There are so many cards right now that they could make an invocation, Bryce. Like guessing, especially given the cards that we just saw printed as an invocation. Guessing the next 35, dude, your guess is as good as mine.
I mean,
like some of them are so random.
My bet was that food chain is one of them. I'm assuming because it's a legacy, not a staple, but it sits around. It's played in EDH. Like it'll get these people to buy the boxes,
Yeah.
and then I mean you see that, or you can't do alert, but or you
Is
do.
Alluran on?
I thought it was on the.
Is it on the reserve
Because it's
list?
Tempest. I think Tempest is reserve list.
I was under the impression Alluran was not, but you might be right.
But like, there's other staples. Like you could probably see a survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
You could probably see a birthing pod. Like different things like that. Like these could all go there as invocations.
There's a million things that could go there.
I
I mean, guys, they did divert. Like if they can make divert an invocation,
but they also did
could
chain
make
lightning and stuff.
anything.
Like we could see like Monastery Swift Spear or something, or Delver of Secrets. Like a Delver of Secrets invocation.
I would count
That
on them
might be
doing
really
something at
interesting.
least old enough that it's not super accessible to find at the moment. But at the same time, they just printed Force of Will in EMA, and then they give us a new Force of Will.
Yeah. Oh, and we just saw Vial and things like that, so I don't think it'll be like Vial or Chalice or any of those.
Between all the Expedition invocation things and Master sets coming out, they're covering a lot of reprints.
Oh my goodness, Iconic Masters.
Like, did they need to do Iconic Masters?
No.
They did not need to do Iconic Masters. Nobody was asking for that. You know, I mean, people are asking for reprints, but nobody was asking for for this set that's going to come out, and everybody's just left in question land because nobody knows what to expect.
We're really close to the Hour of Devastation, like, not promos, but like previews. They're coming out here middle to end of June. Like, we're within weeks of it, which is crazy because it feels like Amonkhet just came out. But Amonkhet's been out since the beginning of May.
Yeah.
It's been a month.
Thanks, Jorgensen. Yeah, Alluran is on the reserve list. Thanks for double checking that.
Ray Guy is giving us an eye. Thanks for the love. Chinese, though. Being able to read it like a boss. And Bryce. Yeah, Bryce, I will always set up for food chain every single time. Question Land, is that the next plane? Yes.
Yep.
Magical Question Land.
Magical question.
Magical Question Land! Where we can question everything. And Dominaria is the plane. I want to go back. It's time to go back. Dominaria, please.
He wants to go back to Dominaria, and I'm thinking about it going, oh, let's just not go back to
No,
the
we're
plane
going
ever.
to Ixalan. Ixalan's the next one. We've
Ixalan,
already
yeah.
said it, so.
Yeah, I've seen something about that. No, I'm glad.
Maybe
I'm
Ixalan
glad
is
we're
on
not
Dominaria.
Get out of here. No, we should go explore some new planes. There's
It's
a
been
million.
it's been a little while.
Yeah, we did 2 throwbacks in a row. We didn't need to do that.
And it was all Eldrazi.
It was so bad.
Oh my goodness. But
I didn't hate Shadows.
but we've done Kaladesh and we've done Amonkhet. And now we'll have Ixalan. So we have those 3 and then we'll have another
Yes,
throwback.
let's keep it new, even though Wizards
Well-
is totally messing up their new sets. We won't talk about that. Let's do new. New.
Onward and upward.
New is always better.
Oh man. Why hasn't this next round started? I thought we were
I
almost
don't know.
there.
If you want, I can go find out.
Kyra's gonna go find out. I'm gonna sit here and talk about things.
Okay.
Probably just food chain. You know what it's about. Oh man. Is Ixalan the dinosaur plane? I don't think Ixalan's a dinosaur. Ixalan, I believe, is like an Aztec, Maya, like aquatic, like, you know, the whole under the sea like plane. I think that's what it's focused on. So we'll probably see like merfolk love and like crabs and things. I'm not really a story guy.
Looks like they're on turns. So that's why we're waiting. See, we featured the wrong match. We should have been on this one. Let's go on to turns.
I don't think we featured the wrong match though, because
No, it was a sweet
Tesserator and
match.
Death and Taxes are usually longer. Yeah, Atlantis, there we go. I can't think of Atlantis. Good job, Bryce. Starfish? Yeah, Ixalan. If Ixalan doesn't have a new Starfish, I gotta be able to scry.
A new Scryfish?
Yeah. That's,
Dude.
I mean, that's what Jorgensen said.
I'm pretty sure that's all anybody really wants.
The dino plane apparently is Regatha. Dinosaurs in Magic. I mean, we did have dinosaurs in Cold Snap.
We just had like a
Allosaurus.
huge technology set. It'd be sweet to go see some dinos. I'd be all for that, honestly. That'd be sweet.
So we haven't had like a. I mean, Homelands is kind of like a Gaelic type set, but we haven't had like a Gaelic set for a long time, like Scottish, Irish, that sort of thing. Dino could be interesting.
Do we ever do dinos? Has there ever just been a
I mean,
dino plane?
Allosaurus. No, not a dino plane.
Oh.
We've had like Allosaurus or whatever.
That's sweet.
Could be an unset.
Could be an unset.
Yeah.
Could be real. I'm going
Yeah.
real.
That's there's potential there. Sorry guys that it's still taking so long. We talked about how rounds are going so much faster nowadays. Who's on turns? What 2 decks?
I did not see. You know what is interesting though is I was watching a Legacy stream just the other day. I wasn't sure which one I was watching, but they mentioned that their Legacy rounds have been flying by as well. Super interesting.
Does our Devastation have Bolas infected mummies?
I'm just gonna say yes and just roll with it.
Yes.
You know what I'm scared of though, Bryce? I'm scared of them like making Bolas have a huge part of this story and then like Bolas infecting whatever next plane that we're on. So we just have Bolas everywhere on the next plane too.
What is Davis on? He either plays Enchantress or Alurin. I'm gonna say Alurin.
All right,
Davis
so
on
give me
Alurin?
Paul and Davis is on Shardless.
Try this.
This will be interesting. Because I feel like it's...
D&T doesn't have a huge...
D&T just laughs at Charles.
Does it really?
Yeah, because you go.
I haven't seen this matchup.
You go turn to Thalia, and Charlotte is like.
Oh yeah, they can't.
Well,
do
I guess
anything about that.
I mean, you can't. Like, you have fatal push and stuff, but it's just.
You played a lot of
not.
Charlotte though. So.
Yeah, Death and Taxes is not one of your fun matchups. But, like, you've got sideboard stuff. He just rolled 2 1s. He gets to go first. No, I guess he doesn't get to go first.
I know both of these decks well, but I do not know the matchup very well.
Yeah.
I mean, Death and Taxes has game against most decks, so.
How do you think people react if Iconic Masters is actually the 3rd unset? Wizards troll level over 9,000.
I actually think that would go over positively. However,
I think it would be very good. Yeah.
However, Jorgensen, they've already announced that the MSRP on Iconic Masters is going to be $10 a pack.
So it's the normal Masters thing.
It is a Masters set. There will be value.
Yeah.
Which, like, at that point, seeing what they've done with Modern Masters and Eternal Masters, like, I have no idea what they're trying to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine.
I think Bryce is right that if there's a push Bolas card, it's going to really work the matchup. Mm-hmm. Now, this is funny that Davis is the deck that's actually playing black and he's playing with white sleeves, and Paul's the deck that's playing white and he's playing with black sleeves.
I support this.
And so Nathonian says this matchup's about variance, and it really is.
Yeah, of
it's
course.
who's going to hit the right things. And like this Vial on 1's good for Paul, but it's not game ending.
No,
it's going to be good. It's not going to change necessarily too much the outplay as long as Davis can kind of get in, and he's got a whole bunch of lands in his hand. Yeah. So if Death and Taxes just goes thing, win, like you're gonna slam. So this is going to be fun. Silver bordered alpha beta unlimited duels. I mean, if it is an unset, if Iconic Masters is the 3rd unset and has silver bordered duels, that would be hilarious. The set would just make people go nuts. We didn't. They're not tournament legal reprints.
All right.
So we got 2 vials for Paul, and he hasn't put anything down yet, but it means that he can kind of go through the counters. So
I think this is exactly what Paul wants. I mean, in most matchups. So it's not looking. Davis can't be happy seeing this.
Yeah. He got that Wasteland, though. That feels good.
He did.
Hey, it's not reprinted in a standard playable set.
Yep.
Ooh, Hymn to Torok. That feels good. So there's no activation of a vial in response to
no
this.
1-drops.
It's likely no 1-drops, or Paul just wants to protect something else in his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's potential that it's just... Ooh, Thalia and Flicker Wisp. That's pretty solid. Those are solid hits.
Yeah, that's a great hit.
There's still another Flicker Wisp, and then Recruiter of the Guard and Phyrexian Revoker in Paul's hand. Which... So, what do you think Paul's going to be dropping on to here? He's only got the Recruiter, correct? Or not the Recruiter, sorry. The
Flicker Wisp?
Nope. Phyrexian Revoker.
Oh, the Revoker?
The one that can actually be cast for team.
I don't even know that Paul knows what Davis is on. So it's pretty hard to just blindly throw Revoker here.
Although when you see the...
Definitely wait.
You see the Hymn to Torok and you kind of have a guess. Now... You go play a land. So it looks like he's got 3 Shardless Agents in his hand. No. One of them is a Baleful Strix. Okay. Yep, get a Baleful Strix. That seems fine.
Yeah, seems great.
And we'll draw an Abrupt Decay.
That also seems fine.
That's fair magic. So, Phyrexian Revoker onto... Now, So the Abrupt Decay is not going to be super effective because there's a Flicker Wisp in Paul's hand. So whatever he targets, he can just Flicker Wisp out.
Yes.
So Davis might just hold it back and kind of wait until he sees the Flicker Wisp come out. But we've got another Phyrexian Revoker. I'm not sure what it named. It probably named a Liliana or something.
I'm just going to trade.
That feels fine. Because he's got 2 of them. And we're going to tap down your blue and black source.
Yeah, I agree. CPT. I mean, that's what's so interesting about them calling it Iconic Masters, is it's not like the other 2 Masters that we've seen.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're holding value, I mean, to me that means they're going to put in a lot of iconic, Magic spells throughout the history. I would assume so. I mean, just from the name. But they also need to keep it from keep it different from Modern Masters and EMA.
Yeah.
That's very I don't even know how you'd go about that. I mean, maybe I'd need to think more into it, but
It could be a thing where they reprint all of their masterpieces and things in the set.
I don't think there's quite enough of them out there to do that.
Not
but-
just the masterpieces, but that's one of the reprints that you hit. Like you can get masterpieces in Iconic Masters. That's potential.
Oh, sure.
Now he just drew this Leovold
Yeah.
off the top of his deck and cast it here. So the this Rashad Port, if he activates it any more times, it's just going to let Davis draw cards.
Draw cards.
Yep.
Right. I mean, not that it really matters. Rashad Port's pretty much dead at this point anyway, because Davis has so many lands. He's got 2 more in hand. We see a Wasteland, and we see a Creeping Tar Pit.
Yeah, and Paul's going to grab his what's that called? Spirit of the Labyrinth, which will actually kind of turn off the power.
Right.
So he'll only get 1 potential draw from the Leovold,
Mhm.
and then have to deal with.
I think that's definitely a smart choice.
Although I'm surprised that Paul didn't just drop those Spirit of the Labyrinth last turn after grabbing. Right? Don't you do that?
Yeah,
Another
it is somewhat
reprinting of
interesting.
Zendikar fetches. Yeah, those are pretty iconic, but
I mean, Jorgensen, they the fetches are really expensive. I could see more reprints on fetches.
so it's a May ability. It doesn't matter. It's a May ability. You target, and then either he draws or he doesn't, right? And then you can put it in. Yeah, that's sure. That's a thing.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna target Spirit of the Labyrinth with.
Definitely want to Flicker Wisp here.
Yep, but that
Yeah.
allows him to draw now for his turn.
Yes.
Yeah, so he'll get to draw his card for his turn. It's Flicker Wisp. Draw for your turn. That works. And you get a Brainstorm. And you have, let's see, he's got a Wasteland, so he can interact with the Wasteland on the other side of the board. Play your Wasteland and interact here, right?
I don't think it's 100% necessary. However, I do think you
You
want...
don't want to put your Creeping Tar Pit out for
Yeah.
a Wasteland to hit.
Yeah,
you
you
want
don't.
you want to lead with your Wasteland.
Yeah,
right?
you do want to lead with your Wasteland for sure.
Yeah, he does want to catch him with a Brainstorm on the stack, but look, the Brainstorm's in his hand right now, and Davis already knows that the thing's gone, so he's going to be Brainstorming now. But you gotta lead with the Wasteland here. You don't want to let him target it. Is it worth it giving up a Creeping Tar Pit just to draw an extra card?
It may be. I don't.
Is it
This
though?
doesn't look like a game where Creeping Tar Pit's going to be the winner.
No.
So with that said, it may be the right choice.
I guess, yeah.
I definitely like brainstorming first.
Yeah. I would put the Creeping... You got to put 2 cards back, dude. It's not an Ancestral Recall. Go and make sure he puts 2 cards back.
Is he not?
He hasn't. So we're making sure that he puts 2 cards back with his Brainstorm. It's not an Ancestral Recall. We're not playing Vintage here. Now he has the land in order to...
All fixed.
Yep. So the Wasteland is targeted with the Leovold trigger on the stack. This is at the end of the turn. So the Spirit of the Labyrinth has come back into play. He's getting a green source, and he's going to be able to hit this Spirit of the Labyrinth and draw the extra card. Feels bad, man.
Yeah, it does.
Now draw your card from the target, and then lose your land. Lose your land to the Wasteland. There you go. Good job, Paul, keeping him honest. Yeah, so he still draws a card off the Leovold. He did that.
Yeah.
That was the Verdant Catacombs that just put in his hand. The thing that we were fixing, so he missed, was finishing resolving his Brainstorm, and then he missed the Wasteland actually getting the target.
Okay.
But it's okay. He'll go back and watch this game and see that he's a goofball. Hey, there's a Wasteland. That's a magic card. So the last card in Paul's hand is a Phyrexian Revoker.
Which is not doing a whole lot right here.
Nope.
As
Hey,
long
look,
as
there's 2 Tarmogoyfs right there.
as long as Davis can figure out a way to deal with the Flicker Wisp,
I mean, essentially
soon.
he just drops his 2 Tarmogoyfs and just starts smashing.
yeah.
Right? Or
I mean, he's got
he still has to put 2 cards back. Remember to do it. Remember.
Interesting to put the Wasteland back.
So he doesn't really care about the Rishadan Port. He
Yeah.
actually wants him to activate it against him.
Right. Well, he knows that the vials have everything covered. The lands are much less.
And what
Of a
Davis right
problem.
now is setting up is he's just going to Shardless Agent into his recall. Or Visions, which is a recall.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
We're gonna draw some cards.
1, 2, look, there's another Goyf.
All right, now you don't need to put the cards back. You
That's
can
right.
keep those.
You can keep those cards. It's an Ancestral Recall. Your 0-mana Ancestral Recall that you got off of 2/2. Yep, that's fine. Swing with your 3/3, right? I guess there's potential that he's got a Miracle Crusader or something in his hand. So I see why Davis isn't just smashing. Just straight up not going for it. But
Right.
he can do it.
He decides not to. I think that's a fine decision.
Yeah.
Price.
Tarmogoyf, Lightning Bolt, and Islands is iconic masters.
Well, I'm pretty sure Tarmogoyf's like the best blue card there is, so I can see that.
No. These are gonna.
No, they need to be iconic. They can't be full art islands.
Nope. They're gonna be check card islands. Okay. And you check the island that you want it to be, and then you pull that island and put it in.
But Bryce, we also need to remember that Shivan Dragon is probably going to get reprinted as like an uncommon, just for everybody, you know. And then
Get reprinted
and
in
then,
common, sir, so you can play it in Pauper.
and then, and you know there'll be Sarah Angel. I mean, like, and anytime I think of iconic,
Hey,
it's
look,
like,
Shardless Agent into Tarmogoyf. Life is fair.
life is fair.
That's Tarmogoyf number 4 right there. Oh, hey, look, and Baleful Strix to block the 3/1 flyer in the air.
That'll do.
I mean, there is a Mother
Yeah,
of
there's
Runes,
a
but
runes. But it looks from the looks of it, it looks like Paul's going to be able to change this clock up in a timely manner to.
well, the thing
to
is
change
like
this to
he's
his
got a
game.
Jace in his hand. Yeah.
Shivan Dragon at Mythic. Come on, didn't we just say they're $10 packs? They're not putting Shivan Dragon as a Mythic. I mean, then again,
Shivan Dragon could be the next Comet Storm.
Wizards has surprised us before.
Shivan could be the next Comet Storm.
Shivan will be a masterpiece. You're right, Bryce. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't even know why.
It'll be
I
the
say
only
words.
masterpiece, and it'll be 1 out of 2 rare slots. Every other rare slot will be a masterpiece Shivan Dragon. You open a pack, you're like, I got the Shivan Dragon, so it must be the next pack, and get another Shivan Dragon. You're just like, I give up. I'm done. No more. They did put Comet Storm as Mythic. That's what I'm saying. No.
You know what's so interesting is the red mythics really surprised me from this last Modern Masters, because like Bonfire didn't surprise me too much, but the other one did. What was it? Wasn't even good. What was the other red mythic? Oh, it's Past in Flames. It was Past in Flames.
So Past in Flames, Subterranean Tremors was the conspiracy
I
one.
was just super surprised because like we finally went far enough in Modern Masters, and now it's like, okay, we could do like, you know,
We can do anything! And
we could do
they're like,
Thundermaw Hellkite. We could do Koth. Like those are excellent red mythics that are like actually Koth is actually played in Modern and is played in like I guess some of the red beatdown decks, but in Legacy.
Wait. He just drew an extra card off of his Horizon Canopy on his turn with a Leovold in play. That's not a thing, but like Davis didn't get
Gonna
it.
be a mistrigger.
Yep. That's the thing that you need to not miss because you can do it in paper. He can't draw there. You're right,
You're right.
Tybix. We saw that. Took us a second, but we saw it. Hey, look, there's an Abrupt Decay.
That is the one that he was looking for.
So, you're going to play your Baleful Strix, you're going to block, he's going to mob, and you're going to be like, that's cool. Play your Baleful Strix. That's the answer. Just play your Baleful Strix.
That was it. Yeah, it's not something that can be undone. You're right. It's not technically called a miss trigger, but it's not something that can be undone.
You're right. They can reprint a $2 one set of cloth. Makes so much sense. Failure to maintain board state. Yep.
Yeah.
Labeled is a static effect, though many judges will rule that if you don't mention it as the player, it is drawing extra cards. So we target here. Leovold allows you to draw a card if you remember to draw your card. Now we just hit a Curse Totem. Okay. Give Pro Green to our dude. Potentially we get a Flicker Wisp and get a Bounce It back. You're going to take 5. Okay, Mom's gone. Yeah, I like that. I like that because now you have answers to all these things.
Right.
Let's see. So we're going to just play our Baleful Strix, right? And a Goyf. Because life is fair, and we play Magic. We play the best blue creatures.
Yeah, lots going on. Davis has missed some things for sure.
So he's missed them, but they've been fixable, and Paul just blazed through it and didn't care.
Yeah.
So we'll make sure that gets done.
These players real loose. Yeah, they have been.
And Paul's done.
Kind of surprising to see in the last round.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are both definitely playing loose. No question about it.
Yep. Do you want to go and mention that Horizon Canopy thing to them?
Yeah.
And I will stay here, and we'll make sure that the Horizon Canopy thing gets taken care of. Oh, anyways, we've got a match. It's a May trigger. He can decide not to draw things. So yeah, he can decide not to draw. The thing is with Horizon Canopy, when he goes to draw it, since Leovold is in play, it's a static ability, so he should not be able to draw. It's drawing extra cards. Yeah, he didn't need them. That's okay. Let's see. Life is unfair. Bryce did not say a thing. I used to be a Shardless player. I used to be a Shardless. I loved the Shardless deck. It was a tough matchup, and it was very much variance related. I think that the Swords to Plowshares that gave Davis the extra life was like just nah. But when you get all 4 of your Tarmogoyfs either in your hand or directly into play, like it's not okay. Apparently. Tried to recall with the Brainstorm. You're right, Tybix. One guy did try and recall with a Brainstorm, and someone got to draw extra cards through a Leovold, and all the things happened. Portent is so good against Leovold. Portent is so good. So is...
It's a really interesting card.
So is Foresight from Food Chain. So I could play Foresight and get around Leovold and Spirit of Labyrinth.
Or you could just play my deck and never draw extra cards ever.
The
and
Leovold
just
player
play
does
your own
get to draw
chains.
extra cards. You're right. Chains of Mephistopheles, right?
Yeah, Davis knew one of his miss triggers, but Paul had no idea. He just cracked his Horizon Canopy. He's like, yeah, I didn't even think about it, and Davis is like, I didn't even catch it. It's like, great.
Yep, that's why we have the overhead view, and we get to see all of your mistakes. We see everything. Yeah, they do get to still draw, and it is a mace, so it just gets... That one is a miss trigger.
Yeah, that's a miss trigger.
And you're just like, okay. You essentially chose no. These guys are playing for undefeated.
They are. These are the 2 3-0s.
Are they the only 2? You can go check.
I think.
Check the
I don't
standings.
think they are. I think there's a couple others.
$10 entry, and we pay out 12.63.
No, these are the only 2 9-pointers.
We're the only 2 undefeated, so
Yeah.
the winner of this walks away with 12 packs,
That's awesome.
which is a lot in store credit. I can't remember. It's like $33 or something. So you make 3 times. And second place player walks away with $16.50, I believe is what it is. So he walks away making next or F&M and next week's $10. So
Yeah, that's great.
yeah, so it's packs or credit. We do
Packs or
packs or
credit.
credit. We do $275 per pack in store credit, which some people
It's more than a lot of stores do. I will say that.
It's more than a lot of stores do. There are some stores that do it at 3, but distributors have been raising prices, and like it behooves us more for people to open packs and get cards that we can cycle through the system than to get store credit and buy singles from us. So
What's the player turnout? We had 28 players for this
28
legacy event.
today, 18 last week. The week before I think was 26. Before that was 32.
Yeah.
We usually are in the 20s.
And we had a GPT that was 37.
37 players for a GPT.
Yeah.
Which, it's funny that was only it was 4 or 5 players and they were all from Logan, larger than our normal Tuesday Night Legacies.
Yeah.
3, 6, 12 for
Yeah.
packs.
Yep.
So 6 packs for 3 wins.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, so 6.
Very nice, QC. 32
Yeah.
for Legacy is great. 30 plus in Vancouver is also great.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, that would be. I want to go and play up in Vancouver.
That would be sweet.
Seattle and Vancouver. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty easy to go undefeated when your brainstorms are recalls and you get to just not remember labeled. That is correct.
All right. Gotten started a little bit.
Yep, so we've gotten started. Davis dismembered the Mother of Runes, and Thalia came down on turn 2.
I think getting rid of the mom is a good thing.
Oh yeah, Dismember and Charlotte's absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I played 2 of in my sideboard. Card's great. Hey look, Tarmogoyf, it's a 3/3. Or it's
So-
a 3/4. It blocks your Thalia.
So Brian, I don't know if you know the answer to this question, but why is Shardless seeing such a downtick? Was it just good against Miracles, and that's where it was good? Because I haven't seen it nearly as much since the banning of Top.
Yeah, so Shardless isn't super good against it's not super good against like combo decks.
Okay.
Like you have a hard time against show and tell and things like that. But you do have a lot of game against the Delver decks and the things like that. So you're gonna see those. You're gonna see it kind of tick back up when you've got a lot of the Delver decks and things like that. But you're gonna see it's gonna just rotate back and forth depending on what the perceived metagame is.
Okay. Yeah, so Tybucks is saying that Shardless is bad versus Delver. I agree with that.
I don't.
You don't. I mean,
I think if the game goes long, Shardless is the better mid-range deck.
well, I mean, any game that goes long, Shardless is going to be pretty favored, I think,
Yeah,
in most cases.
I think Shardless is a good.
I think Shardless is a great
I
deck.
played a year and a half of Shardless.
I mean, you know how I feel about Shardless. I've said nothing but good things since it's become a deck. I think it's
Yeah.
great.
Any game that you get to resolve in Ancestral Visions feels good. So yeah, Shardless isn't great against combo. Delver's great against combo.
Right.
Shardless is good against fair decks. Yep. Storm and Seek and Show are just bad. They're bad matchups for you. Hey, look, we're playing a Wasteland War. Wasteland War. We're the Wasteland Warriors. Yeah. See,
Okay.
that's what I agree with. Delver has gone more to the mid-range thing because now you don't have Miracles and you don't have to get in underneath Miracles so
Okay.
much. So we're seeing like Check Pile and we're seeing like Delve minus the R. You're seeing the blue-red stuff, and Shardless can just take control of those games and be like, cool, draw 3 cards. I'm playing Vintage now. Have fun. That's what I'm seeing.
All right, we got a suspended Ancestral Visions.
Leonidas, I would have to disagree with you. I don't think Miracles is real good. I think it's good.
It's a
I don't
different.
think
It's a
real
different
good.
deck.
Yeah.
It's just it's not. Like, it has miracles in it, but it functions very, very differently.
I agree. Mongoose is just not as good as Mandrills.
Agreed.
Mandrills is the better deck in Teamer. Like, you want to play Mandrills, and, like, Narnum Renegade is not a bad card to be playing right now.
Right.
Baleful Strix is great. It costs 2 mana, you get to draw a card. Narnum Renegade costs 1 mana, and it's potentially a 2/3 on turn 1.
I like it. I like the Renegade.
I don't think New Miracles is harder to play. You're just playing a different game. You're moving to more of a control build rather than the combo prison.
I thought it was an agent deck that didn't play a shard. No shards.
Bryce, that was a poor pun. Don't come back next week.
It was somewhat
Oh wait,
forced,
come back
but
next week
liked
because
it.
I won't be here. It'll be you and Kyle.
Yeah, Bryce. It's going to be you and me next week.
Damn it.
Why do you say that?
No, it'll be great.
You upset?
No, it'll be great. I love casting. It'll be great. It'll be fun. Hey, look! Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back, and it's a Tarmogoyf.
Finally get rid of that Thalia.
But there's another one in his hand.
Well, he's going to have to get rid of another one before that Ancestral goes off, unless... Well, I guess he'll be fine.
I mean, he just taps one to play.
Yeah, he'll be
Right?
fine.
Like, Portent Miracles can switch into the Semi-Stone Blade. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I can.
But when you're doing something worse than one of the good decks in the format, like, why aren't you just playing the good deck? I don't know. The deck I play is good against all Miracles variants, with or without tops, so I might have a skewed view of the Portent Miracles.
No, I definitely like it. I think it's what, you know, the blue-white control deck needs to be.
Correct.
I don't think that that's the deck that should be busted in the format. I think that it should be balanced. I think it should be strong, and I do think that the new Miracles is both of those things.
12 Post isn't great.
12 pieces are great.
Portent and Predict are hard cards to use when you don't just know the top of your library, but you've got a bunch of Brainstorm and manipulation effects that Portent and Predict are not ridiculous.
Right, Bryce. It's not a top deck anymore. It is a blue-white control deck.
12 Poster Goblins. I'm playing Food Chain, sir.
Can I choose neither?
I love Goblin Lackey one. Says Goblins? Yeah, no. Just requires very tight play. Yeah, Portent Miracles requires very tight play. I agree, definitely good. I can't say it's real good. It's not nearly as consistent as what Miracles was. Wow.
Because we didn't update our game count.
Liliana. No, he did pay his 4/4, yeah. Oh, sorry. It's 1-0 for Shardless?
Yeah, it's probably going to be 2-0 pretty soon here.
Yeah.
He's made quick work of this.
Yeah. Okay, there's another
Thalia
Thalia,
number 3, okay.
which is going to kill Liliana. That's just what's going to
Yeah.
happen. Sad. Food Chain is great against Old Miracles.
It is quite good.
Oh man, that's the reason that Food Chain even saw play in the old meta was because it was good against Miracles. Because all you have to do is get ahead of them with a couple of draw spells. You get a Manipulate Fade off and you're good. They can't win with their Jace plan, their normal Jace plan. Like, my win percentage against Miracles was so high. I loved playing against it in trials and GPs and whatever because it was one of my best matchups.
Yeah, I mean, it is a combo deck that can win with beatdown creatures, and that's the thing there are two different game plans, and it's hard to shut both down.
Yeah, especially, and then as soon as Leovold got printed, you're like, Leovold, and they're like, oh, I have to deal with that now too, and you're just like, okay, like creature, drop a Food Chain, and they're like, oh, I can't stop the Food Chain right now, and then you're like, cool, draw a whole bunch of things, and like Jace you, and you're like, cool, Mist Hollow combo win, and you're just like, okay, that was easy. So yeah, I had a great time against Miracles.
Oh, look at this. We've got the Spirit of the Labyrinth coming in off the Vial with the Ancestral Visions on the stack.
Yeah,
That'll do.
that'll do, Pig. That'll do.
So draw one of those cards.
Cast target himself. Feels fine. What's this other card that you're flicking?
Yeah,
Davis?
Leonidas, I mean, the new Miracles deck is not great against Punishing Fire. This is true. I would know. Yeah, it doesn't match up well.
It's not like lands is a deck or anything, or Gen's a deck or anything.
Yep.
So it looks like we're going to tap 3 mana and do what now?
Yeah, Jund do well in that matchup. Jund has a lot of value. Has a lot of value per card. It's very, very hard for the control decks to. Yeah, Jund isn't really a deck. That is true. I mean, Jund is probably more a deck right now than it's been since Miracles was big, due to the strong uptick in.
So Tropical's already tapped. He needs to tap another land with his Deathrite Shaman. Go and stop him.
Really?
Yeah, he untapped his thing. His other Deathrite Shaman should be tapped and something else should be cast. We're getting him. He tapped the Tropical. Rishadenport tapped the Tropical down. Yeah, it is the end of a 4-round night, which shouldn't be a thing. What's going on?
Jesus, match is all over the place.
I don't even know. So
I'm getting exercise.
I guess he's okay. Whatever.
He asked if the land would come back out of his graveyard because he just decided not to, because he can't actually do that. I don't think there's another land he can target.
Didn't he have 2 lands in his graveyard?
Mm-mm.
So he just upticked his Liliana and discarded it, essentially?
I guess, and then he just casted another Deathrite Shaman.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
No one understands anything. Life is meaningless. But regardless, he has 2 Deathrite Shaman, 3 Deathrite Shamans in play next turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was weird.
Oh. So Pulse is in the bin from the Liliana discard. He ticks up
How
Liliana.
many pillars?
Yeah.
That's one way to do it. Attacks in with Spirit of the Labyrinth. And Goyf is now a 5/6. Okay, so it looks like he gave his Spirit of the Labyrinth plus or pro green, and he's going to exile Swords to Plowshares and nothing else right now because it's a new thing. So he's going to tap and get rid of Athalia out of the graveyard to gain 2 more life. And what did we draw? Hides it. Very, very... Life is... I agree. Jace is not an interesting main
He is
character.
not.
It did go from loose play to life is meaningless.
Yeah, this matchup's all over the place.
So
Jeez.
Paul should be at 7 right now. Paul didn't take his 2 off of the Deathrite Shaman to get a 14 here. Oh my goodness. It's okay. We'll get there, guys. Everyone will get there. One day. Paul will lose this thing, I guess.
I swear both of these players are asleep.
Or they're both intentionally cheating on camera.
They're like, how bad can we make this match?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, sloppy. That is the word for it.
So he drained at the end of the turn and then gained 2 life at the beginning of the turn. So Thalia's attacking. I don't like this. Don't double block it.
I do.
No. There's a mother of runes. There's a mother of runes there. Typex. These 2 players are trash or hardcore cheaters,
Or all the above. No.
or just. I mean, yeah, not paying attention is could be trash, but let's not go the cheater route intentionally here.
He's doing this, and he's gonna put him down to 5, right?
Yep.
And then it's almost like he plans to just tick away with him with the last one. Because
Why would you double block here?
the only reason I can think of is like
He thinks he's going to get it, but there's a mother of runes. Yeah, Paul should be at 3.
he activated to do that, right? Do you want me to go let him know?
That's
Been
okay. So it looks like Paul wants the blocker. Whatever.
That's really weird.
I need to sleep in some of these players.
Yeah, they do.
Aphelios.
I don't think it's particularly late here, so pretty weird to see that.
Oh, there's a toxic deluge in Davis's
okay.
hand. That's
Okay, I guess.
that's the win, right? Because he can exile something, tap for 3 to give everything -1/-1, and then swing for 4 and win.
I believe so.
Right? Paul is straight dead on board. Now, Davis, is there a land in any graveyard, though? Because if that's not... No, if it's...
No, there is not a land.
Even though he swings for 4, puts him to 1.
Yeah, he should be at 3, but it shouldn't matter.
Toxic Deluge for
Like,
1.
this
kills both of them.
should win the game.
No, because he only swings in for 4.
Yep, and he'll scoop it up.
Oh, is Spirit of the Labyrinth an enchantment?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so it makes it a 6/5. There we go. Okay, guys. We got there. That was the loosest game. Not the loosest... No, that's probably the loosest game I've seen on camera.
That was something special.
That was loose, guys. Yeah,
Good night.
good night. Good night. We're going to take deep breaths. I'm going to make sure to tell them to go back and watch their match because it was really loose.
And later on tonight, we have a tutorial on Magic. Both of these players will be attending. So, if anybody else wants to join, you're welcome to. That'll start promptly at midnight.
The tutorial is you guys going to just berate them for that match. It was fine. So it ends up that Davis is our undefeated player tonight. Congratulations, Davis. Paul, you still did great. You walked away with more than you paid.
We will give hand hugs and high fives for everybody that remembers not to draw an extra card while Lee holds there.
Not to draw extra cards and do any of those things. Make sure, so Tarmogoyf Dice, like I said, should be dropping right around $10, I think is what we're going to do. And they will be cast. They'll be molded and cast. All full model dice. They should be dropping sometime in July. Keep track of that. We've got a ton of other stuff, like Die Hard Dice is something we've got in stock. We'll be getting our website steadily up between now and Vegas, and hopefully completely live by the time Tarmogoyf Dice, so you can access them there. You can also find these shirts if you want to message us, or if you want to grab one of these. We've got a good deal on them, or we will have a good deal on them.
And I mean it, they are
And it's
very
super
comfortable.
Super comfortable. Yeah, neither of the decks were doing super complicated things. They just weren't watching.
Yeah.
But yeah, good luck, everyone. May your brainstorms not lock you. That hasn't happened to me recently. Good night.
Good night.